Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
And we are live in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. This is Up Tempo. Armstrong Sims is running things for us. How about a new offensive line coach? Merry late Christmas for Baylor football as they are making splash hires across the board. And man, what a week it's been across college sports, but what a week it's been to be a Baylor Bear.
And to have them marry together with the first week of Up Tempo.
How about that? And this offensive line coach, I feel like it's Christmas morning. It's just what I wanted. This is the one that I wanted in the store. You guys got it for me. I love this. So this is exciting. Really excited to talk about him and what he's going to bring for this program.
It's like Christmas morning and you wake up and you ask for so long for Beats headphones.
Right.
And then you walk out and there aren't any Beats headphones. You got socks and underwear. And then you're so upset that you got socks and underwear. And then your mom says, hey, go get the dog a treat. And you like pout and you walk over and you open up the treat cabinet and there are Beats headphones.
Did this really happen?
That actually happened.
Oh, really? Okay, I was going to say
that.
That was intricate. I like that, though.
That was super. Yeah.
What a great Christmas morning, though. Those are great parents.
Yeah, I got a history book one year too. That was like I had asked for something specifically from Amazon, and it came in this big Amazon package, and I was super excited. And it was a history book. And then I thought, like, because it was the year after they had surprised me, and I was like, all right, that's it. Like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get the dog a treat. I'm gonna get the dog a treat, everybody, and it's gonna be there. I actually
wasn't there.
Got a history book.
There was still no Eric Mateos.
Like, it was bad enough. My mom was like, hey, that was a bad deal. We're really sorry about that.
Hey, we owe you one next Christmas.
But
awesome.
Yeah, Eric Mateos, he is in the dog treat cupboard. He is the guy that he was number one on most people's list if you had a list at offensive line coach, on your list at offensive line coach.
Yeah.
And now he is a Bear.
And it's interesting because I think a lot of it had to do with his wedding. Like, I think his wedding was a thing that made people think maybe he wasn't going to be the guy. Like, him marrying someone, I think they're in Utah, I'm assuming, had something to do with him not being a candidate for the job. But I'm glad we all put that behind us. And I think one of his football coaches actually officiated his wedding. Or
really?
One of the BYU coaches
was
did.
That? Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if that was Mateos or was that Mateos' wedding?
I think so, yeah, with like the mountain backdrop.
Really?
Let's see if I can find it. But
wow. How about this? James Blanchard back at Baylor to lead recruiting evaluations from Carolina.
Yeah.
Man, splash hires across the board for Dave Aranda. Treston Ebner tabbed Walter Camp's second team All-American. Got a good list of guests coming in today. How about a little bit of Skylar Wetzel action at 11:30. 12:05, we're going to hear, is it 12:15, Grayson Grundhafer. I'm learning how to pronounce his name.
I still don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'm learning how.
I still don't know.
It's 6 months.
Yeah.
I think this is my 6-month anniversary at SicEm, and I am still learning to pronounce Grayson's name. And then how about this? At 1:05, Isabella Harvison. Baylor, a splash recruit coming over from Alabama, a transfer to play tennis for the women's tennis team. We're going to talk to her first.
Love it.
How about that? Welcome.
No pun intended.
Yeah, they're nice. Well done. Welcome her into the Baylor family. New offensive hires, Eric Mateos. So we've got a video here from BYU TV and Jerem Jordan, who we talked to earlier this week. We played a little bit of this yesterday. Oh, also, it just popped up again. Tommy Lasorda has passed away. Legendary Dodger. Said he'll bleed blue until the day he dies. Tommy Lasorda has gone on.
Sad day for the sports world.
It is. Tommy Lasorda
for the entire world, but sports world specifically.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys that's just super energetic and active and cool. Like Tommy Lasorda, to even up into his 90s, he was 93, was just a cool personality and a cool guy that you just, man, I loved seeing stuff that had Tommy Lasorda in it. But Eric Mateos coming over, mentored by Sam Pittman at the University of Arkansas, spent time at Texas State, under Jeff Grimes at LSU and at BYU. The guys have worked 3 years together, so they know each other. We talked earlier this week to Hunt Palmer about how cohesion, knowing coaches, and working together in the past really works out well, which is something that Dave Aranda and
George Munoz?
No.
Vic Valoria?
No. Larry Fedora, something that Dave Aranda and Larry Fedora did not have, but that these guys do have in Jeff Grimes, and now bringing on Eric Mateos. So this from Jerem Jordan and BYU TV, where they sat down and did a film room session with Baylor's new offensive line coach.
All right, Eric, obviously a dominating performance by the offense, and the O-line seemed to have a great day.
It was our best day with a lot of guys getting reps and a lot of guys playing well.
Okay, let's see Tyler Algiers play. Break it down.
Okay, well, I put this on here because it was really good job, I think, by our whole offense. In this protection, it's a 5-man pro, and so if they bring 2 guys off of the top of the screen here, and they bring a new blitz, they hadn't shown us this blitz, but if they bring 2, this Mike and this strong safety, then we're hot off of the outside threat, and Zach sees that. And so this linebacker, number 2, he has to relate with number 3 to the field. Tyler becomes the 3rd receiver of the field, so he has to push all the way out there, and so he's stressed out. So Zach gets the ball out quick, and then our 2 guys are out on routes become blockers, and Tyler's able to take it the distance. Tyler obviously is really benefited from not being coached by a running back coach throughout the course of the season.
Lopini Katoa touchdown early.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to the money shot here. This is the best shot in the world. You got a goal line. It's our 7 blockers on their 9 defenders, and we call this a bear choke front. They got a bear. All our inside guys are covered. They got 2 edges on the defense. They got a guy choking our tight end in man coverage, and so we knew if we brought Mason in motion, we could kind of get it tilted the way we wanted. You see 46 jumps front side here, and then the really nice job, we got a great double team on the backside by Keanu and Brady. They really wash this down. James does a really good job handling his guy at the point of attack. We just can't give up penetration there, and so we just need a stalemate from him. And then Mason does a great job of causing both these guys to be stuck in one gap, and that's really the best block of this whole thing. And it's running back walks in untouched.
It's nice when you can go 7 on 9 and get untouched into the end zone. That's pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to have a collision with one at the goal line, but if you can get him in untouched, those are the really pretty ones.
Okay, Jackson McChesney, 228 yards, a freshman record, 6th all-time, had an excellent game in this one. This is quite the run.
So our job, we tell the guys, is to get our backs on the 3rd level. That's our job. We're responsible for the 1st and the 2nd level. It's their job to make their money on the 3rd level. They have their mic over in a 50 alignment, which is, we call that the outside shoulder of the tackle. They got the 3. On the backside is where we're really kind of in trouble here pre-snap, because we have they have a 2-eye, we call it 2-eye on the guard, and a 0 backer, and Blake and Chandon have to go get these guys cut off. But with the jet sweep, we're able to get 33 to bump over just a little bit, and we get both of our guys inside of there. And when we're able to get that leverage, now Jackson has the ability to go make something happen, and he made that guy pay for it, which was a really nice run to see.
Big test with San Diego State this week. Top 10 defense and 3rd in the country in rushing defense. What do you think of the challenge?
This is one of the best rushing defenses in the country, and we're not taking it lightly. Our guys are super excited about it, and you like to test yourself against these kind of teams, so we're excited.
Okay, thanks for breaking it down. Good luck Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. That fired me up just watching that. That was, first of all, the Grimes offense, Mateo's offensive line, and he did not break that down in a super comprehensive way for our guy, Jerem. He was 5,000 level the entire way, talking fronts, gaps, schemes, getting a linebacker choked by a tight end, and talking about 2 eyes and shades. I absolutely loved that. Got me so fired up. Baylor Nation, you got yourselves a winner in Mateos.
Eric Mateos, native of Overland Park, Kansas, coming on to coach Baylor's offensive line. It was originally Ryan Pugh. Things fall through with that hire, and now you get Eric Mateos, who was #1 on the wish list from the very beginning, coming to Baylor, has worked with Jeff Grimes for 3 seasons, is familiar with Dave Aranda as well and how he runs a program and runs a team, and now you bring on Eric Mateos. So as we talked about earlier too, James Blanchard coming on, another hire, he coming from the Panthers at Carolina and Matt Rule's squad to be a recruiter for Baylor. And then another personnel hire, this from Colt Barber. Dave Aranda will add former Texas Tech, NFL, and CFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to his recruiting staff in a scouting and evaluation role. He played under Aranda for 3 seasons, previously served as a talent scout for the NFLPA for 5 years, and currently runs a 306 Elite Performance and Development Camp in Denison. So another hire there, Dave Aranda bringing in Aaron Hunt to coach. Big splashes. That's 3 guys in the last 24 hours that Baylor has notched and gotten them to sign the dotted lines and come to Waco.
The rich get richer, man. The rich get richer. One of the things that excited me the most watching that film of Mateos, if you're watching the video broadcast and you see Algier catching that swing route and taking it down the sideline, this offense is really tailor-made for Treston Ebner. For Treston Ebner, he's going to be a dog in this offense. getting the ball in the pass game, making him a priority in the running game. I'm so glad he's staying another year. So glad we got the staff for him. It's going to be fun to watch him pop this year.
Let's go. A lot going on today, guys.
So much.
It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Looking at the matchups yesterday. Armstrong, we have that on Twitter, on the Uptempo Twitter account from our bracket, Baylor's second best bracket. We've seen some tight ones. Sam Hall's in action today. We heard from Mary Hall, Sam's grandma.
Plus 50 points.
He's plus 50 after that one. I don't know how much of an edge that gives Sam, but I tell you what, I'm rooting for him now. However, he is going against Bryce Petty. It's going to be a tough swing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough swing in that one. Games yesterday, Xavier Howard on top of Aaron Jones. It's a 5/4. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Baylor Nation. Aaron Jones is the third leading scorer all time in Big 12 history. And he got trounced.
Xavier Howard does not lose on Twitter. He's
he doesn't.
hot on Twitter right now. He's borderline trending. Guy's a Pro Bowler, interception title this year. Backtracking, though, how about Mary Hall calling into question Bryce Petty's character?
That was awesome.
She said, he's a good guy, I think, but not as good as my grandson's son.
Right. He's not my grandson.
He's not my grandson.
And I quote, he's not my grandson.
Not her grandson.
Boom. You heard it here first. Only on Uptempo. Here's my question. If Xavier Howard and Aaron Jones are squaring off 2 years ago, is that matchup different? It's closer.
I think so. Yeah, it definitely
it's
is.
Closer.
It definitely is. Absolutely. I think Xavier Howard's kind of been the guy that has stuck around the most for Baylor in the NFL, has been like kind of the face of Baylor NFL. But I think it's definitely closer because this season really put him on the map.
Charlie Brewer does what Charlie Brewer does best. He wins, baby.
Let's go.
11-win season starting quarterback wins in the first round against Antoine Goodley. Pretty handedly, too. Old Chuck making his presence known. Come on, guys.
I like that. I like seeing Chuck win handily. And, I mean, I think that just kind of shows Baylor Nation still has a lot of love for Chuck in spite of the way it kind of felt weird at the end of this season. Also, I wonder how much do you think this generation of Baylor fans on Twitter know Antoine Goodley? Like, do you think Antoine Goodley is lost a little bit in the memory of some of these Baylor fans?
No.
You don't think so? Because they weren't Baylor when he was there. They were just becoming Baylor. They were winning Big 12 championships when he was relevant.
That's true, but Antoine Goodley's still a pretty
I would hope so. I would hope so. I just wonder.
So.
I wonder. But I hope so.
If you've been around football relatively, around Baylor football relatively, probably. Sean Oakman on top of Trayvon Blanchard. That one was closer than I thought it would be. It was close. It wasn't like the Corey Coleman matchup we had the other day where Corey Coleman absolutely obliterated Phil Taylor. Sean Oakman, Trayvon Blanchard was closer than I expected, but still, yeah. Sean Oakman won by a lot. That was to be expected.
Another first-team all-Twitter guy.
Today, Bryce Petty and Sam Hall. That one taking place right now on the Uptempo Twitter account. You also have Spencer Drango and Terrence Ganaway. Only 2 matchups today. We're going to get back down to 2 matchups. That was originally supposed to be 2. There were a ton of play-in games because I screwed the bracket up.
That was good. It's madness. We love it.
Yeah, Bryce Petty's up by a lot. But again, remember, Sam Hall has the 50-vote handicap.
Right.
So maybe
that honestly might be worth a lot. Out of 159 votes, that gives them about a third of that.
There are 11 hours left.
Yeah, we're gonna
a lot of ball to be played.
We're gonna need more of a handicap.
A lot of ball to be played.
And
I hope she calls in again.
I hope so. We'll
That'd
give
be
50 more
awesome.
points. Spencer Drango and Terrence Ganaway. That one also taking place today. Should be pretty good, I would assume. That's Spencer Drango should win that one in my opinion. Terrence Ganaway is the bigger name, I think.
Right.
But Drango had the better career, I would say, at Baylor.
Yeah, I think in terms of big names, because he's a running back, Ganaway might get a little more love here late. Funny story about Ganaway. I had a friend playing overseas and told me he got beat out by Terrence Ganaway for a spot overseas. And this is like last year. I'm kind of thinking like, so he mentioned Ganaway by name. I'm like,
wow.
That's kind of odd. He's like 40-something years old, maybe older than that.
Ganaway or your friend?
Ganaway. My friend was like a year older than me.
Ganaway's 40-something?
I think so. He's got to be close. He's older. He's past his playing days, right? Like we can agree he's past his playing days. And so at that point, I'm like, okay.
What sense of time or age do you have?
Do you want to check and see if Terrence Ganaway?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, you can.
40-something?
Is that really what you're caught up on right now? I'm telling you, we're playing overseas and Terrence Ganaway took his spot, and that's what you're caught up on.
32.
Okay, so
He played in the last decade at Baylor.
Not
okay, he's
40-something.
Okay, he's past his playing days. Can we all agree on that?
I don't know. Adrian Peterson's 47 and still playing in the NFL. That's sarcasm. Bear games today also.
Do you want to hear the end of that story? He wasn't playing overseas. It was Shock Linwood, and so that was that was the punchline. And like someone messaged me on Twitter and was like, Terrence Ganaway isn't playing overseas.
Wait a second. Okay. So Terrence Ganaway and your friend are overseas. Your friend gets beat out and says he got beat out by Terrence Ganaway.
Yeah.
Come to find out, your friend...
Shock Linwood.
It was Shock Linwood, and your friend didn't know.
He said it was Baylor's leading rusher. That's Terrence Ganaway, right? I was like, no, that's Shock Linwood. I caught a lot of heat on Twitter for it.
Wow. You did or he did?
I did, because I thought I was breaking something.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hey.
How about this? Get on the action on the Impact Health Labs caller line and the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line 254-339-1122. Callers, we got some games to play today, and if you win them, how about this? I still want to give one of these away. I have one of these to give away. It's not mine. I'm not giving away mine, but I have one of these ice shakers to give away today. I want to give one to you. Call us at 254-339-1122. Come on, guys.
I'm dreading the Twitter heat I'm going to take for saying Terrence Ganaway was 40.
That was tough.
That's two strikes
really
now with me and
tough.
Terrence. Saying he's playing overseas and saying he's almost 40. Terrence, I'm sorry.
You dropped the ball on Terrence
would love
Ganaway.
to have you on, and I got one more strike, so I'll do my best not to take that.
Text line is open as well. You've got 254-339-1122. Those are the matchups today. We're also asking on the Bear games. Baylor and TCU tomorrow. What is the final score of that one? Who's Baylor's leading scorer? And there are a ton of new head coaches at Baylor now that need places to eat, folks. They have families.
Yep.
They've got to have food. Where are they going to eat? We've got restaurant suggestions from you in Waco on where our new offensive coaches and football coaches just in general should be eating come their time in Waco. And we're going to give our take on that too. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims is running the production on Up Tempo.
Dave Aranda and the Baylor football program wasted no time in filling their unexpected offensive line vacancy, hiring BYU's Eric Mateos to the position yesterday afternoon, per SicEm365.com. Mateos spent the last 2 seasons with the Cougars, coaching under new offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, building one of the most dominant offenses in the nation. Prior to BYU, Mateos had stints at Texas State, LSU, and Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Baylor is also hiring Carolina Panthers' James Blanchard and former NFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to the staff in recruiting roles. In men's college basketball last night, 12th-ranked Illinois overcame a 15-point halftime deficit at Northwestern to somehow win 81-56. Number 17 Oregon was upset at unranked Colorado, 79-72. And number 1 Gonzaga continued to prove their worth with an 86-69 beatdown of 9-2 BYU. On the women's side, number 8 Texas A&M smacked number 10 Kentucky in College Station 77-60. Number 12 Maryland went on the road to win a thriller against 23rd Michigan State 93-87. And 13th ranked Arkansas was upset by 15 on the road against unranked Tennessee 88-73. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84 and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122. For your company's mass COVID testing, log on to ImpactHealthLabs.com.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jamie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Come on with it.
Yes, sir.
Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Drake Toll, JD Pickell, Blonde Boys Power Hour, baby.
I love it.
Intro sponsored by Forrest. Hey, if you're out there right now, you're listening to me. You're listening to me. I'm looking at you. Right in the eyes right here. Right in the eyes. You're on YouTube right now, and you're watching this, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, Baylor just hired an offensive line coach, and I want to go see what's happening on the forum, but I can't close the YouTube because then I'll stop watching Up Tempo, and then what do? But then you're on Facebook Live, and you're watching Up Tempo, and you're like, oh no, the forum's blowing up, and my Twitter's blowing up, and oh my gosh, one of my kids is screaming, the other kid's screaming, I got to take them to school. What do? That's okay. It's okay. You download the SicEm365 app, you hit listen, you can listen as long as you want, and hey, it never goes away.
That was intimate. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. You just spoke to a lot of people about a problem that they probably are facing, and you just remedied that very instantly.
But if you are on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button. What do we say? We're jolting subscribers right now. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah. It'll let you know when we go live every day, because sometimes I forget that we have a show, so I wouldn't be surprised if other people are like, oh, shoot, it's 11:30.
Is that what this is?
Up Tempo's on.
Is that what this is right now?
No, this is a radio show.
Oh, I didn't even.
We're on the radio.
I forget all of the time.
We think it's a podcast.
You just keep saying. JD, meet me here at 11ish. I'm like,
no, it's live.
Okay, cool.
We're doing it live.
That's what all these cameras. Okay, this is starting to add up now.
All right, today's
making sense.
Segment Food Friday. Let's go to all the new Baylor football coaches that have made their way to Waco. Congratulations. Welcome to the Bear family. We're glad to have you. And the one thing that may matter most about moving to a new town, uprooting your family and bringing them to a new bubble is, what is the food scene like? And I got good news for you. In Waco, oh, it's popping.
Yeah, we like to eat around here.
We like to eat.
And no shortage of good options.
So we're gonna rub Armstrong in on this segment as too. Skylar Wetzel joins us in like 7 minutes, so we're gonna hurry this thing up. But
love it.
Here's what we got. Best restaurant in Waco, JD, go. Your number one recommendation.
Best restaurant in Waco is a place that is blue collar, started from the bottom as a food truck near the silos.
Mm-hmm.
Guess Barbecue has climbed the ranks from a lowly food truck that was a absolute hit with all of the people and is now booming, right around 28th Street, something like that. It's a hit. I love going there after Harris Creek on Sunday. Fantastic breakfast hash. If you get there on Sunday, you got to go before they're sold out because I think they're open until later, but they close early because they sell a lot of stuff.
Armstrong, best restaurant in Waco. Number one recommendation for the new coaching staff.
Oh, you're going to laugh at me because I have bad restaurant takes, but I think my favorite is Rudy's.
Oh, God.
Even though it's not specifically a Waco thing.
Okay.
Rudy's is good, Armstrong.
Rudy's is incredible.
I like Rudy's a lot, but it's not local. It's not remote. I have 3
That's what I just said.
Barbecue. Yeah, I have 3 barbecue restaurants written down here before Rudy's. I'm sorry.
What are they?
So I'm going to give George's, not a barbecue restaurant, but Coach's, the very first restaurant you should go to when you come to Waco.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't make it the
George's.
best.
You have to go to, it is. George's is the best. I go there for my birthday. I went to George's last night.
It's two different things.
I went to George's last night.
It's the first thing you got to go to.
If you at home want to meet up sometime and have dinner, let's go to George's. That's where I love George's. It's good. I'm there all the time.
It's a Baylor spot.
Go to George's, get a Big O.
Yeah.
I've never had a Big O for legal reasons, but go and get. That was good. But go and get a Big O at George's. That's like the epitome. That's how you baptize yourself into the Baylor culture.
Okay.
Barbecue restaurants, my number one, got to be Hellberg. Hellberg's number one. I don't know if you count it as Waco.
I was going to say, is there
It's like China Spring-ish.
Yeah, it's like Waco-ish.
Hellberg Barbecue, number one place to go to. Number 2 on the barbecue list. How about this? Guest Barbecue. I'm with you. It's between that. It's a close between 2 and 3. Number 3, you've got VTEX. VTEX. 3 local places.
Never been to VTEX.
Local places.
No idea.
You've never been to VTEX.
Yeah, you got to change that. We got to fix that. We got to fix that on me.
I might change my vote to VTEX.
Oh, okay.
Burger joints.
I think I'm changing my vote from Rudy's to VTEX.
I like that. VTEX is good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Burger joints. Grab you some Cups Burgers. Or
never been to Cups.
Cups is good.
Cups is good.
Very good.
The other one over there, it's on LaSalle by the roundabout.
Health Camp.
Health Camp
is very good.
Great shakes.
Amazing shakes.
Steaks. Texas Roadhouse is a chain, but you can't hardly. But Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks is probably your steak place.
Also 135 Prime. If you're balling like that, 135 Prime.
If you're balling, just got that new big paycheck from Baylor.
Yep.
135 Prime.
Might as well.
Mexican food. Grab you a little.
This is an in-depth list.
Mexican dish. How about Ninfa's? Ninfa's is a pretty popular place. It's a little overpriced. It's a little pricey. Hit or miss.
Ninfa's is good.
It's not very good.
La Fiesta.
You know what? My theory, my thing on Mexican restaurants, if the menu isn't in Spanish, you're at the wrong place.
I'm not. I don't know that I've been to a Mexican restaurant with the entire menu.
I mean, burritos. Spanish.
You're not going to the right
quesadilla
restaurants.
Spanish.
This guy's got it.
Those are all Spanish words.
Knows something that I don't know. How about other Mexican restaurants? La Fiesta. I've not been to La Fiesta. It's been recommended to me.
Okay.
Maybe. Fuego. After a hot night in town.
Fuego.
You go to Scruff's. You want to go dancing?
Love Fuego.
You want to take your family dancing? You go to Melody Ranch or Smiley's or Austin's. Maybe Scruff. Probably don't take your family to Scruff's.
Don't do that.
Sorry. No. But then after that, you're going to want to go to Fuego, open 24/7.
Yes.
El Presidente.
Amazing.
Very good.
Amazing.
It is Fuego.
So there's a program there where you get a free taco every 10 times you go. I have accumulated over the course of my short stay in Waco, which is like give or take a year, 5 free tacos.
That's saying something.
So you do the math.
This
That's
guy was
over 50
almost an
trips to
Olympic
Fuego.
bobsledder.
Fuel Fitness Bowl is amazing.
Italian restaurants, if you like Italian, go to Portofino. Portofino downtown is pretty good. Go check out downtown.
Oh, what's it called? Barris.
Barris is
very
good.
affordable,
Barris
very good.
There's a Portofino in China Spring, too. That's really good. I went there the first time.
Give me your number 1 in the power rankings.
Number 1 in the power rankings.
Overall.
In general?
Yeah.
You got to be George's.
Okay.
George's. You're going Guess, and you're going...
I'm going Guess, man.
Armstrong's going Rudy's. Armstrong, stay on that side of the room.
Hey, Rudy's is some good stuff.
Rudy's is good stuff, but it's 4th on the barbecue list. We got a caller on Anonymous. Auto screen. Eric, what time? You're on with SicEm365 Radio. We're pushing a guest. So what you got for us, caller?
Hello?
Oh, my gosh. It's Baylor Bigfoot.
Baylor Bigfoot?
Hey, guys, don't be the phone. First time caller, long time listener. Glad you called to the number 2 radio show on SicEm365 Radio. I just want to say, I like double R burgers the best, and no one mentioned that. And so I am furious and will no longer be calling in. Just kidding.
Good.
What?
All right, Devil Bees, Double R Burgers. Let's roll through some Bear games really quick, and we got to grab Skylar Wetzel. He's on the line for us. Bryce Petty or baby. Sam Hall?
Bryce Petty. Former teammate of mine.
Spencer Drango or Terrence Canaway?
Terrence did a lot of good stuff. I got to go with him. Even though Spencer was a great left tackle for Baylor.
That's good. Who wins Baylor and TCU tomorrow? What's the score?
Is it men's basketball or women's basketball? Or baseball?
Men's basketball.
Men's basketball?
Yeah.
Baylor wins 100-0.
100-0.
There we go.
He's got the Bears. And then your restaurant of choice in Waco is Double R Burgers?
Well, if we're talking about burgers, it's Double R Burgers. If we're going barbecue, I got to agree, it's Hellberg. That place is awesome.
Good call. Very good call. Bigfoot, thanks for your call.
Bad call.
Beautiful.
All right, he's out.
All right, let's
we gotta take a break.
Armstrong's Minute on Up-Tempo. I'll be right back with Skylar Wetzel.
Dave Aranda and the Baylor football program wasted no time in filling their unexpected offensive line vacancy, hiring BYU's Eric Mateos to the position yesterday afternoon, per SicEm365.com. Mateos spent the last 2 seasons with the Cougars, coaching under new offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, building one of the most dominant offenses in the nation. Prior to BYU, Mateos had stints at Texas State, LSU, and Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Baylor is also hiring Carolina Panthers' James Blanchard and former NFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to the staff in recruiting roles. In men's college basketball last night, 12th-ranked Illinois overcame a 15-point halftime deficit at Northwestern to somehow win 81-56. Number 17 Oregon was upset at unranked Colorado, 79-72. And number 1 Gonzaga continued to prove their worth with an 86-69 beatdown of 9-2 BYU. On the women's side, number 8 Texas A&M smacked number 10 Kentucky and College Station 77-60. Number 12 Maryland went on the road to win a thriller against 23rd Michigan State 93-87. And 13th ranked Arkansas was upset by 15 on the road against unranked Tennessee 88-73. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
All right, bringing it back in Up Tempo. The Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den, Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims, and boy howdy, if you love Baylor football, you're going to love this.
Yeah, you tell you what, we got a Mortel Award snub, absolute snub. We have a man, when he's done at Baylor, he'll have not 1, but 2 degrees. A man, if you were to take his blood and test what kind of blood he had, he would test football. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man that is Skylar Wetzel.
JD.
What's up,
Drake,
boss?
How's it going, guys?
Let's go. Welcome into Up Tempo, baby.
Man, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be here. I'm a fan of the show, fan of y'all's work. Great to catch up with you, JD.
Thanks, Skylar. Great to see you, man.
Sir.
You look good. You've been lifting weights.
I appreciate that. You're looking great too, man.
It's a tight shirt.
Yes, sir.
Skylar, how are you feeling? Obviously, you played under Aranda and Coach Rule. I mean, we've heard it ad nauseum from different players, but what's your take? How are they different?
Well, I think I could go at length at that question, but I mean, they're both tremendous coaches. I've learned so much just from both of them. I'm a huge fan of both of them. I was blessed to, play for both of them and be able to learn just so much from both of them. It'd be hard to put into words. Coach Rule's just got such a strong personality, such a charismatic leader, such a cerebral leader. He knows football. He knows the game. He knows how to develop players. And Coach Aranda's the same. He's extremely cerebral, extremely smart. He's a great leader. He communicates his vision very well. They're both tremendous coaches. It'd be hard for me to tell. I'm sure y'all have been able to interview both of them and see both of them work with the media. And they've obviously got differing personalities, but they're both extremely effective coaches. They're good at what they do, and they're in the positions that they are right now because of how good at their jobs they are. So I respect both of them, respect the heck out of both of them. And I'm glad I've gotten to play for both of them and learn from both of them. So it's been great.
Skylar, you got to not just play for 2 really good head coaches, but a couple different position coaches bouncing around and playing in different spots on the football field. What was that like for you to find yourself in multiple different position rooms with different guys and really get a full feel for the team as a whole?
Well, it was a blessing, to be quite honest. You know, wanting to coach in the future and hopefully entering into the profession here in the next few months once I graduate, I'll look back at this time here at Baylor and at my time at Tarleton State, being at different positions and being in different rooms with different coaches, as with my time here at Baylor with this staff and with the past staff, and really look at it as a blessing, because I've been able to learn so much on both sides of the ball. I've been able to learn multiple different positions, multiple different systems, multiple different offensive and defensive philosophies from multiple coaching staffs, multiple coordinators. And so it's given me a different perspective for sure. I think, you know, being a player and being in those rooms it was a great perspective and a great experience. And I've learned a lot just, you know, post-retirement, just in the past month or so, just been able to break down some film and things like that, looking at it from more of a coach's perspective, at being a future coach. And I can say that it was a true blessing to be able to, you know, work under Coach Nixon, under Coach Roberts, under Coach Pallage, and various different people, Coach Rule and, you know, Coach Snow. So I've learned a tremendous amount that I'm very thankful for.
And tell us a little bit about your journey to Baylor, because I know it was a little bit unique. You and I were a grad transfer class of two.
That's right.
Talk to me about what that was like, because it was almost destiny for you to end up at Baylor. Tell the people about that.
Yeah. So I graduated in 2016 in high school, San Antonio Reagan High School. Shout out to 210. And then I got a scholarship offer from Tarleton State, which was a Division II school in the Lone Star Conference out of high school. I wanted to play offense going into high school, going into college. They were the only school that offered me as a running back, and so I took that offer. I went to go play for Coach Witten, and the offensive coordinator there was Coach Mason Miller, who's now the offensive line coach at Mississippi State. So I was blessed enough to be able to learn from them as well. I graduated early from Tarleton in 2019 with my undergrad degree.
Yeah.
And then grad transferred here to Baylor, thankfully. Got the opportunity. Coach Rule gave me the opportunity, and I jumped at it because this is my dream school, and I've been dreaming about, you know, playing here and hopefully being a part of this program somehow in some sort of capacity for as long as I can remember. And for Coach Rule to give me that opportunity, and for my dad to be here as well, it's been a really special experience, and I'm blessed, and God definitely had a better plan for me than I ever could have had for myself, and got to meet great guys like you, man. I've made some great friends, made some great connections, and we got to come in as grad transfers together and made some memories, and it was a great time.
Appreciate you, boss. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to stay around too. Mine was short-lived, but I was vicarious living through you every single Saturday.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
Skylar, for a guy like you, there are a lot of recruits that JD and I both have been around in sports media that when they look at a program, they put their foot down and say, I'm only playing this position, whether it be quarterback or running back, receiver. Guys that say, I've always done this, I'm always going to do this, period. I'm not coming to your school if I can't. Mm-hmm. You don't seem like one of those guys. Was that ever your mantra, or do you just want to improve your team, help your team wherever they need it?
Yeah, I'd go with the latter there from your question. I always just looked at it from a perspective of trying to help the team out. I've just always wanted to win games, and I wasn't the kind of recruit that could, you know, say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I couldn't pick and choose because I wasn't that kind of athlete, wasn't that kind of recruit. So I came into Tarleton State even, and especially when I came here at Baylor, I was going to do anything that the team needed me to do. I was going to go into any position that needed help because I was confident in my ability to play different positions and confident in my, you know, own athletic ability and intellect of the game, and to be able to learn different positions and such. And I just wanted to help the team win. I remember when I first came here, the first few weeks of being here, Coach Snow and Coach Rule came to me about playing safety, and I was all for it. And I ended up staying at running back and, you know, being able to play special teams that year in 2019. And since the new defensive staff came in, I had connections with Coach Pallage, the safeties coach, and Coach Roberts, who's a defensive coordinator. And there was an opportunity there at safety to just help out and provide depth and provide a bit of, you know, mature leadership there at that position. And I jumped at it, and I wanted to, you know, learn as much as I could. I think it also resonated with me, just being a future coach and wanting to learn as much as I could. I wanted to bounce around, and it wasn't a situation where I could put my foot down and say this is what I want to do. I wanted to learn. I wanted to help out the team for sure.
Yeah, talk about that. Someone like you being a graduate transfer, being someone who's older on the team. How crucial was that to have that kind of leadership in a season like this where everything was just up in the air for the duration of the entire season?
Yeah, well, when I first got here in 2019, we had such a strong, senior class. Sam Tecklenburg, Blake Lynch, JaMychal Hasty, all those guys. I know y'all know all those guys. We had such a strong group of leaders in that group, and I think that's what separated us from everyone in our conference and everyone nationally. Really made us nationally relevant. Just how strong that leadership core and that senior class was. And I came in and saw how effective that leadership was, and it really inspired me. I know Sam Tecklenburg is my roommate. Thankfully, he had a great influence on me, and showed me what it really meant to be a full-time football player, full-time grown man, play grown man football, and what it took to really win at a high level in this conference. And I took that into this past year, and you recognize as an older guy how important leadership is from a player's perspective, and how, great teams really separate themselves through the players and the leaders they have as players on the roster, because it can't all be up to the coaches to provide leadership. It's got to come from the players on a daily basis. And, I hopefully stepped up, and I was able to provide some leadership, especially hopefully on the special teams end of things. And I know we got a great group of leaders coming back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Skylar, from a Baylor standpoint, the Bears are so spoiled when it comes to father and son connections on the football program. I have never seen a team or a program with so many father-son connections, especially at one time. But for you, individually, working with your dad that closely with the football program, how cool of an opportunity was that?
It was really cool. I don't know if y'all knew this, but my dad was my high school head coach, and I know Garrett McGuire played for his dad in high school as well. They were both high school coaches, and both were hired at the same time by Coach Rule. And just the opportunity for them both to be hired at the same time was extremely special for both of our families. I've known the McGuire since I was a little kid. I used to watch them on I used to see Coach McGuire winning the state championship on Fox Sports, and I used to see Garrett there on the sideline and stuff. So, I knew Garrett, I knew Coach McGuire. For them to be hired was extremely special. For us to be, brought to Waco here just seemed like destiny. He's been one of my great friends since I've been here. He took me in, his family, when I got here, made me feel accepted and everything. And I really appreciate him, really appreciate Coach McGuire. And I think that's a testament to the family atmosphere that we're trying to create here at Baylor. I think Coach Rule really valued that. I think he valued, creating an environment that was accepting to everyone, and that really felt like family. And Coach Rule brought us both in, brought both of our families in, and gave me and Garrett both opportunities to really contribute to the team. And Coach Aranda has done the same thing. He really values family, and I think the Wetzels and McGuire still being here is a great testament to that.
So football is clearly in your blood. Mortel Awards snub, I mentioned in the intro. We're not going to talk about that. What's next for you, boss man? I know you got the world at your fingertips in terms of what you want to do in the football world. What's next for Skylar?
Well, right now I'm trying to enjoy this time off, trying to enjoy this Christmas break. That season was a long one, and it was obviously a pretty rough one, mentally and physically. So I'm just trying to take some time off right now, learn some things, and break down some film for my coaching profession future. And I'll graduate in May with my master's degree. I'll be teacher certified, so that I have the opportunity to coach high school football if that's the route I end up wanting to take. I'm still going through some opportunities in my head, trying to weigh the pros and cons of everything. But I'm confident in my ability, confident in the opportunities that I'll get. And so I'll begin coaching this summer. Where and what level, I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I'll know within the next few months, and I'll let y'all know for sure.
Can't wait.
Skylar, we've got some Bear games here that we play every day, and these are questions that we ask each guest and caller.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tailor your very first one specifically to you. True or false? In the year 2020, a former Baylor and Cornell football player by the name of J.D. Piquel was invited to try out for the Olympic bobsledding team to represent the United States of America.
Now, I don't know if that's completely true, but it would not surprise me because this guy can run. I don't know if y'all have seen him, but he's
true.
This is why we brought Skylar on.
He can run. I'm telling you, for a light-skinned kid, he can run a little bit.
This guy was almost an Olympian.
That's really high praise.
Skylar, we're doing
now, is this true though? Is that true?
That's true.
That's true. Whether or not
that, JD.
So truthfully, at Cornell, there was they were looking for guys for the bobsled program and reached out to the guy who does They're recruiting for them, and I mean, who knows what the odds are of making a team like that?
100%. Look at him.
But anyway,
if y'all were to see this guy in the weight room, you would not be surprised. I'm telling you.
Let's just keep the segment going. I love this. Thanks, Skylar. Thanks, Drake. You guys are giving me a lot of confidence right now.
All right, Skylar, we're doing Baylor's second best football player of the last decade to put on a Baylor jersey, because you can't put RG3 in there. It's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Bryce Petty or Sam Hall. That's our first matchup today. Well, who are you going with there?
I'm a huge fan of both. Sam Hall, coming from Katy High School, he played safety. I was a huge fan of him growing up, watching him come up as a aspiring safety. So I'm a huge fan of Sam Hall, but I've got to say Bryce Petty because, he was electric.
Yeah. Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
Interested to hear this one. I'm very interested to hear this one.
Oh, my gosh. Both great players. Saw Terrence Ganaway play in the Alamo Bowl. Saw Spencer Drango, have met him. Man, I want to say Spencer Drango because that's just how my mind works. Offensive line, you can't win unless you got great guys up front. So I'm going to go Spencer Drango.
Spencer Drango.
Good take.
Baylor and TCU play a big men's basketball game in Fort Worth tomorrow. What's the final score of that one going to be?
My goodness. 72 to 68.
Oh, my gosh.
Nail biter.
Skylar, you got TCU giving them a run.
We'll have a close one, a rivalry game, but I think the Bears pull it out.
I like it.
On the road.
I'm behind that.
And then a bunch of new coaches coming in for Baylor next season. We got to give them restaurant recommendations. Where's your number one in Waco?
My number one spot in Waco, I always tell people, is George's.
Let's go, Skylar. That was mine. Look.
Yes, sir. Can't go wrong with George's. Shout out to George's.
Will, look, George's the way to go. Double O, or the Big O. You can't beat
Big
that.
O. That's right.
There it is.
Come on.
Sure.
Skylar, man, come on more often. Why haven't we done this yet?
I love Baylor and love football as much as y'all do, man. I appreciate your work, appreciate y'all's ambition and y'all's passion for this. I really do. And anytime y'all wanna have me on, I'm game for it.
You're the man, Skylar. Thanks, boss.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Former Baylor football player Skylar Wetzel, thanks so much for coming on, JD. Man, what a great land. He was awesome.
He's awesome. He's a great guy. I'm excited to see what he does in the coaching world because he's going to be something big for sure.
All right. We've got the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line open, and, man, they're flooding in that JD Piquel, after this show, immediately, Michael from Dallas says you have to go get a gut pack right after this.
Okay.
From VTEX. Garrett Geiger says, go Texans. Tarleton Baby, a little Skylar Wetzel shout out.
Love that.
Jack Wheeler, send them to Shorties or Taco Z.
Ooh,
Shorties
Taco Z is good. Taco Z and Shorties
good.
are also both good.
We got Schmaltz here, sandwich shop. I like Schmaltz. That's probably the best sandwich shop in Waco.
Sneaky good.
Sam Hall's dad texts in on the line and says, I'm voting for Sam Hall. Now we have John Bill Erman, who is on the call line. John, you're on with Up Tempo.
Howdy, boys.
What's going on?
Oh, just listening to the program. Hey, first time, long time. SicEm, you know what I'm saying?
I love it.
We know what you're saying.
We know what you're saying.
I see here, John, that you want to vote for Sam Hall. And I'm very interested to hear where you're coming from with this one. Give me your best pitch for Sam Hall, because I, too, am on the Sam Hall train now.
No, honestly, I don't even think it's fair. I think Sam Hall, if anybody's ever known him, you come away with the impression that you just met a really special person, and then a special football player too. I mean, he was lightning fast, closing speed, big hitter, and I've never been a big fan of quarterbacks anyway. But I do want to your earlier interview. There's no way that game is going to be that close this weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
Baylor is going to blow the boards off that floor.
Let's hope so.
It's going to be a nightmare for TCU. I just got to say. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I love it. All right, so here we got some Bear games. Bryce Petty or Sam Hall? You're going Sam Hall, right? Come on, John.
Absolutely. Sam Hall all the way.
Sam Hall all day. Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
That's a tougher one. I guess I'd say Ganaway.
Terrence Ganaway. That is a tougher one.
That's tricky.
Drango, offensive line. It feels like him and Sam Hall are those guys. It's just tough. It's the quarterback running back bias that people are just going to vote for. But I like Sam Hall, and I like Spencer Drango. John, how about TCU Baylor tomorrow in Fort Worth? What's the final score?
You got to give me 98 points for the for the Bears, and TCU 70, 78.
78, 98. I like that. I think TCU could end up putting 78 up on the board. I don't think TCU's defense stops Baylor's offense that is red hot right at 6.
No way.
Shooters shooting 40% or better from deep right now for Baylor.
Snipers.
John, if you're going to a restaurant, you can take me out to one restaurant and buy my dinner. Where are you taking me in Waco?
We're going to Georgia.
We're going to Georgia.
What if you're not buying dinner? If the price is not, because I think that's a good take. I might even go Fuego if I'm buying dinner.
Oh my goodness, John! Thanks so much for your call.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Now we got T-Rex on the phone line. Man, I bet you T-Rex has got some good restaurant recommendations. We got just had one caller on that was calling in to talk the Bear games and Baylor's second best up tempo, and we dropped that call on accident. I'm not sure, caller, if you want to call back in, we'll get you on here.
Yeah,
T-Rex, you're on with up tempo. Come on.
Oh, boy, do I have a hot take.
Yes.
Oh, let me, real quick before I say this, just so I know the analytics, let me go to my profile on Twitter real quick. All right, I'm at 1857 followers, so over-under on how many I lose here. I'm going to lose probably like 1,875, so I'll be in the negatives after this one. Georgia's most overrated restaurant in Waco, Texas.
Wow.
I grew up in Waco, all right? So I lived in Waco my entire life, or not my entire life, but until I went to college, which I went to school in Abilene. So 18 years, right?
Okay.
I only went to Georgia one time in 18 years, and my dad was the one who took me there, and we went to a lot of restaurants in Waco. We were very familiar with where to eat in Waco. We were all, I was an offensive lineman, my brother was an offensive lineman, my dad was an offensive lineman.
No.
We loved to eat, so we knew where to go eat. Georgia's, the food's fine. There's nothing wrong with the restaurant. There's not a bad restaurant. You know, I wouldn't say don't go to Georgia's or anything like that. But I will say it is very overrated. And the reason for that is it gets a lot of hype. And as somebody who is a Waco native, or a native in any town, if you ask anybody who's a native of a college town, they always usually have different opinions than people who came in to go to school there, and they just go off of what they're told, and they just build this relationship with it. Georgia, back in the day, was probably one of the only places that students could go if they were 21, assuming that back in the day anybody followed the rules, where they could drink. And they had big beers, and it was cheap. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've talked to people who said when they were in school way back in, the 1300s, that, a Big O was like 25 cents or 50 cents. I don't know what it is now.
If you know anybody that's still around that went to school in the 1300s, you send them our way. We want them on up tempo.
Yeah. You know, be gentle. I mean? And those people listening knew who they are. They know who they are. Hopefully we have fans of all ages listening, from, 1-year-old to 99-year-old. Everyone's welcome on the Up Tempo podcast.
Bingo.
So love it. I think there's a lot of hype around, it's a Baylor restaurant, right? It's got all those things with the Big O's. But I've only been 3 times total in my life. If I come to Waco for a game, I'm only going to Georgia's. I went one game. I went after the Kansas State game because it was like 11 o'clock by the time we got out of that place. There was nowhere else to go eat. Luckily, they were open. But the food sucked every single time. We ordered the bear rolls or whatever they are. They're supposed to be like bacon wrapped chicken in a roll. I'll go to Bush's and get a chicken tender in a roll before I ever go back to Georgia's and get that.
Georgia's, T-Rex is putting you on blast.
Now, if the owner of Georgia's wants to reach out to me, I will gladly go to Georgia's if the food's free and give you a full unbiased review.
I will go to any restaurant. I will go to Long John Silver's right now if the food is free. What you have just said is a blanket universal statement. If free food's on the line, yeah, I'm there.
Like I said, it's fine. If you love that place, cool. But it gets a lot of hype that I think is just perpetuated by somebody before you said to go there. You went there, you got a drink. It's a big beer. Waco has evolved a lot in the last, even just 10 years, beyond the footprint of Georgia's. There are a lot more places to go. So I just think it's got some overrated hype. Maybe some of it's justified, maybe some of it's not. I just think it suffers from the college town, you only come to town once a year for homecoming. That was the place you had a chicken fried steak one time. I think that's the issue. There's nothing wrong with the food. I just think it's overrated.
So what's your number one pick then, T-Rex?
Whoa. We're getting ahead of ourselves, T-Rex. Bryce Petty or Sam Hall?
Oh, Bryce Petty.
Mom Spaghetti. Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
Spencer Drango.
Spencer. I like that. Who?
Offensive lineman.
TCU Baylor tomorrow. Are you going? What's the score?
I mean, do people riot in the Congress when they don't get their way? Of course I'm going to the game. Like, what kind of question was that?
I don't know. That was a stupid question. You know what? They'll dock my pay for that. I'm giving myself -7 points for that.
I'll be there. Prediction, I'm a little hesitant because rivalry game, but I do think the team has a chip on their shoulder. Same thing like we did at SFA. We put them back in their place. Had a chip on their shoulder from the last time we played them. However, I sat on row one literally within slapping distance of the TCU bench last year and watched their 10 students that were in attendance storm the court after they beat us. So I'm not going to predict a blowout because anything's possible in a rivalry game. But, man, I would love to beat their butt and stomp all over the ugliest court in America. If you haven't seen it and you know Game of Thrones, that looks like, it's been a while, dragon scale or whatever, skin, that disease in Game of Thrones. It looks like that. That's what their court looks like. Except you don't have a fat guard chipping away at it. But I wish somebody would take some dynamite and chip away at that court and get rid of that nastiness.
How about this?
I'm sorry, that was a weird rant.
That was a weird rant. I don't have a response to that. What's your restaurant? What's your go-to number one in Waco?
You know what? Shout out to, I think it was JD that mentioned it, and it's actually called Barry's or Bears.
Bears,
you know what? Maybe you were right. I think you said Bears. It might be Bears. I don't know. I've always called it Barry's. But you got to go to I believe they have 3 locations. They have one in Hewitt last time I checked, and then they also opened up one a few years ago in Belle Meade. But you got to go to the Valley Mills location.
Yes, very good.
And if you're hungry and you want pizza, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because a large pizza there is like a triple large at Pizza Hut. So if you're used to eating a large pizza yourself when you order Domino's or Pizza Hut or any regular pizza place, stick to the medium, if even that. Great food. Their other menu items are great. Service is great. And they have that really nice, fine, almost like Sonic ice. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Good to go.
All right.
That's a good take.
Parking lot sucks and always has. So don't drive a car that sits low.
Well, wise words from T-Rex. Thanks for your call, T-Rex.
Yeah, second Bears.
I love that guy.
He's awesome.
All right, JD, let's play our 2-minute drill. 2 minutes on the clock, 10 questions. I know you got to get out of here, so we're going to roll through this pretty quickly.
I love it.
1 through 10. Okay, I got 10 sports questions. You have 2 minutes to answer them. Clock starts now. Armstrong, you're playing as well. Do you have pen and paper, Armstrong?
Are you playing?
I'm not playing. I know the questions.
Yeah, I have pen and paper.
All right. Question number 1. If I'm on a par 4 hole in golf and I complete it in 4 strokes, what is that called? Nobody say it out loud. You're writing your answers down.
Okay.
Number 2. How wide is an NFL football field? You can say this to the nearest yard. To the nearest yard. I don't want it in feet. If you give it to me in feet, you're wrong.
Who would do that?
You?
I feel like I'm taking a final.
Who is the NBA's all-time leading scorer?
Okay.
I don't think he's alive anymore. That's your hint. Nope, he might be.
I think he is.
I think he might be.
If it's who I think it is, I think it is.
Number 4. Who is the 3rd all-time scorer in Big 12 history? We need music for this, Armstrong, too.
Wait.
We can do that next week.
Who is the 3rd?
All-time leading scorer in Big 12 history. Oh, you know this. The 3rd leading scorer in Big 12 history.
For football.
For football. Yeah. You know this. Like that. It's like if you watch the show, you get it. You're the producer.
Yeah.
So
You watch the show, Armstrong.
You watch the show.
Can't remember the guy's name, though, honestly.
2 schools. Seriously. Give me his nickname and I'll give you the point.
We're 2 minutes on the clock.
2 schools share the most ever Heismans. Name one of them. The most ever Heismans. 2 schools share it, the same number. They both have 7.
All right.
Name one of them. Who is the head coach of the first Super Bowl winning team? That's number 6. Number 7. Who has the most March Madness national championships? We're at 30 seconds. Number 8. The most NCAA football national championships. Number 9. What country has competed in the most Olympic Games without ever winning a gold medal?
That's a good question.
Don't say United States. Don't say United States, Armstrong. don't. Number 10.
Ever winning a gold medal.
No clue.
This Cornell and Baylor alum was invited to try out for the U.S. Olympic bobsledding team in 2020. Who is it? 7 seconds on the clock. 3.
I'm good. All right.
Question number 1. Par 4 hole. I completed in 4 strokes. That is called?
Par.
Yes, okay. I was worried it was going to be a dumb answer.
Yeah.
I was like, is it called something else? Okay,
I was
cool.
worried it was going to be like a
we're
trick question.
We're in the same boat.
All right.
Number 2, how wide's a football field? JD first.
53.3 yards.
Oh, I put 50.
It is 53.33.
Wow.
Repeating.
There we go.
JD got it. Who is the NBA's all-time leading scorer?
I think it's Kareem.
Yeah, I put Lou Alcindor, yeah.
Okay.
I hate giving that to you, but I will. I'm impressed.
That's good. That's really good.
It is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Lou Alcindor. Thank you, Armstrong.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Third all-time leading scorer in Big 12 history in football.
Aaron Jones, Stork the Dork.
Because I couldn't remember.
2 schools share the most ever Heismans. Name one of them, JD.
I have Michigan.
I put Bama.
Notre
Bama
Dame?
has 3. I think Bama has 3.
Freaking Oklahoma.
I should put Oklahoma. I thought, okay.
Darn it.
Who is the head coach of the first ever Super Bowl winning team?
Who is Vince Lombardi?
I said, not a clue.
we got to work on this, Armstrong.
Vince Lombardi?
Who is the,
Lombardi.
you got
Isn't
Kareem
that the trophy?
Abdul-Jabbar's
Isn't that the
actual
name of the trophy?
Yes. Who
Lou
has the
Alcindor.
most?
Who doesn't know Lou Alcindor? All right, keep
You
going.
do know it. Most NCAA tournament championships in basketball. March Madness.
I said Duke.
It's UCLA.
It is UCLA,
okay, good.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Most NCAA football national championships. Football.
Army.
Again, I wrote Bama because I didn't know.
Alabama.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guess, the shot in the dark, and he
Darn it.
landed it.
It was a good guess.
Here, this one,
guess.
I love this one. What country has competed in the most Olympic Games without ever winning a gold medal?
I said Fiji.
Oh, it's close.
I said
Is it New Zealand? Is it
but
New
I
Zealand?
considered writing Kenya.
Is it New Zealand?
I put
It is the Philippines. I don't know why Fiji and Philippines are close. I feel like they're
These are good
phonetically
questions.
some
These are
way.
good questions.
Darn it. Okay.
Cornell and Baylor alum who was invited to try out for the Olympic bobsledding team in 2020.
Obviously, it's. I put a random guy named JD Piquel.
The Blonde Boys Power Hour, Drake Toll,
yes.
JD Piquel.
Good,
That is correct. JD beats Armstrong.
He
You win a
definitely beat
free
me.
SicEm365 Up-Tempo t-shirt. Congratulations. I'm Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. This is Up-Tempo.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
What you do in privacy is your own business. What you do in public with your truck, well, that's our business at Pickup Outfitters. In your garage, it's okay for your truck to parade around in the nude with no accessories. Hey, this is still America. But when you bring your truck out in public, it's just common decency to put an outfit on your truck. And that's where we come in at Pickup Outfitters. Put a cover on that bed. Cover your rear end with a bumper and a hitch, for goodness sakes. There are women and children on the roads. And guys, don't leave your tools exposed. Put them in a toolbox. Be proud of your truck and stand tall with a lift kit. Or improve your truck's posture with a leveling kit. Add some class to your pickup with new wheels and tires. Or dress up for a date with your new RV or boat with a fifth wheel or a receiver hitch. At Pickup Outfitters, we're dedicating to making the roads decent for all Central Texans. So when taking your truck out in public, remember your manners and accessorize it properly with an outfit from Pickup Outfitters. 220 Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, bringing it back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims. Wow, Blonde Boys Power Hour, great today. We give out the restaurant recommendations for the new football coaches that are coming into the Baylor program. Excited to have those guys. Again, Baylor is finalizing their offensive staff. Jeff Grimes is the offensive coordinator. Vic Valoria from LSU, the strength and conditioning coach. He was a senior assistant S&C there. He is now the S&C at Baylor under Dave Aranda. Chancey Stuckey, the basically Dabo Sweeney of Clemson, is coming over to coach at Baylor as a wide receiver coach. Offensive line coach, Eric Mateos. We compared it to waking up on Christmas morning, not getting the Christmas present you wanted, a Christmas present you like, but not the one that you wanted, that you really, really wanted, and then going to the garage and finding out that, wow, there's a new car right there, that you actually do get what you want. And Eric Mateos is, in a roundabout way, Baylor's offensive line coach. Couldn't be more excited to have him on board. Sean Bell at quarterback coach. He is retained, moved over to quarterback coach. Juice Johnson at running back coach. So both of those guys staying put as of right now. You love to see that. That was on my Christmas. Sure. That was on my Christmas wish list to have both of those guys stay alongside Joey McGuire, whose Twitter still has Baylor stuff in it. And, man, it's been a fun week in Baylor football to see how Dave Aranda and now Jeff Grimes have put together their staff on the offensive side of things. Guest list today, Grayson Grundafer joins us at 12:15 to talk about the new hires that Baylor has made, including Mateos, as well as Blanchard, who's coming back. James Blanchard will be on the Baylor staff now, thanks to a hire made yesterday. And then another assistant, Armstrong, that we touched on earlier that Colt Barber reported about yesterday, former Texas Tech and NFL player Aaron Hunt, who has, for the last 10 years, run the 306 Elite Performance and Development Clinic in Denison, is now a recruiter and on staff here at Baylor. So we'll learn a little bit more about him from Grayson Grundafer when he comes on at 12:05. Guest list later on in the day. How about Isabella Harvison? She is Baylor's newest Bear. She is on the women's tennis team, a transfer from Alabama. That went final yesterday. We went after it, got the interview, and she'll talk to the media publicly for the first time as a Baylor Bear today on Up Tempo. That is coming up at 1:05 later on in the show. As for now, though, Grayson Grundafer joins us at 12:15 again to talk recruiting as well. Recruiting has not stopped. Baylor is still on the trail. You're trying to land some grad transfers and some guys that are up in the air. Today we're talking restaurants too. Try to give a little plug on where the guys that are wearing the Baylor green and gold, newly wearing the Baylor green and gold, should go and eat. In our Bear games today, you have Bryce Petty and Sam Hall. Bryce Petty currently losing by a lot right now on Up Tempo on our guest and caller line. But that's because we gave Sam Hall a bit of a handicap, and we've had callers call in that are big Sam Hall fans. His entire family is watching today. This is a big day. I got a Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line right here. This guy, this is an unnamed texter, says Sam Hall over Bryce Petty. So another vote coming in. Diane on the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. See, Armstrong, I can't legally drink yet, so I still struggle to say Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. But Diane on the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line says, who knew I would agree with T-Rex about anything? George's is overrated. So we're getting some pretty good feedback on the different restaurants that the new Baylor coaches need to go to. Shayna Wetzel says, I love that Skylar Wetzel. Skylar Wetzel was on with us earlier, and then Sam Hall's dad sent in on the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line that he is voting for Sam Hall. Go Sam Hall. It's a big day today. Everybody around the Hall family gathering up together, rooting on your boy and cheering him on against Bryce Petty. Tough first-round matchup for Sam, who is an all Big 12 honorable mention. 6'2", 210 from Katy, Texas. 3-time Big 12 Commissioner's Honor Roll. Man, what a good guy, too. Everybody we talked to, he was just a good guy to be around, and he's, I don't know, I don't want to say he got the short end of the stick playing Bryce Petty in round one, but, man, Bryce Petty's a 1 seed. Sam Hall an 8 seed in that one. I guess it's tough. Yeah, you know?
It is tough.
Would you have done it different, though?
No, I don't think so.
Like, I'm already beating myself up for other parts of the bracket. I don't want to beat myself up for this, though.
We got a hashtag Vote Sam. It's trending.
On Twitter?
It's not trending, but yeah, that's a movement on Twitter right now.
Vote Sam. I like that. Celebrity birthdays coming up later in the show. There are a lot of good celebrity birthdays today, and I don't think Armstrong's going to do very well in guessing their ages. He typically gets close. But today I am not
I do too.
As confident as I have been. I like that little split screen you did right there.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
That's impressive. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, hey, don't tax yourself any more than you already have. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It'll remind you every day that we're live on the air on Uptempo. Hey, and not only that, you can go to the SicEm365 app, SicEm365.com/app. Download the app. Click on listen, and you can go about everything you do in your regular day. You're sitting in the office. You want to listen to the show. You want to watch the show. Remember how like March Madness had the secret screen that you could flip back and forth if your boss comes by?
Yes.
Same thing. Don't have to do that. You don't have to keep the YouTube up on your computer screen. You can listen at work, which is what I do. This is work for me, and I am listening actively. You can listen at work on the SicEm365 app by hitting listen, popping your earbuds in, maybe play it in a speaker in the background. My dad's listening right now. On a Bluetooth speaker.
Big time.
On
a Bluetooth speaker. And do you know what the Alexa skill?
Armstrong, tell the people more.
Well, you can say to Alexa, hey, Alexa, play SicEm365 Radio, and Alexa will just play it.
That's right. I called Alexa, said, Alexa, start playing our stuff. You know what she said? Okay. And now, according to Armstrong Sims, you can do it. We're going to give one of these away later as well. We got some games to play. You know what?
Wait, you're saying you called Alexa personally?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And she responded. I said, hey, Alexa. And she said yes.
Good.
And that was the rest is history. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We're going to hit a break. Armstrong's Minute, go to a break, and then have Grayson Grunhafer. We're going to find out. How, because it's still up in the air. You said you're not 100% sure either.
I said I'm 90% sure that's how you pronounce his name.
Grayson Grunhafer comes on at 12:15. We'll have him in just a second. We'll be right back on Uptempo.
Dave Aranda and the Baylor football program wasted no time in filling their unexpected offensive line vacancy, hiring BYU's Eric Mateos to the position yesterday afternoon, per SicEm365.com. Mateos spent the last 2 seasons with the Cougars, coaching under new offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, building one of the most dominant offenses in the nation. Prior to BYU, Mateos had stints at Texas State, LSU, and Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Baylor is also hiring Carolina Panthers' James Blanchard and former NFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to the staff in recruiting roles. In men's college basketball last night, 12th-ranked Illinois overcame a 15-point halftime deficit at Northwestern to somehow win 81-56. Number 17 Oregon was upset at unranked Colorado, 79-72. And number 1 Gonzaga continued to prove their worth with an 86-69 beatdown of 9-2 BYU. On the women's side, number 8 Texas A&M smacked number 10 Kentucky and College Station 77-60. Number 12 Maryland went on the road to win a thriller against 23rd Michigan State 93-87. And 13th ranked Arkansas was upset by 15 on the road against unranked Tennessee 88-73. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, bringing it back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims. And the only thing cooler than my outfit today is Grayson Grundafer, who joins us right now on Up Tempo to talk Baylor's new hirings and how Baylor is recruiting a whole gamut of, the Matrix. How about it? It's like Inception, but on Up Tempo. There are 2 of me. We'll get that figured out.
We'll get that figured out, but we can still hear him, right?
Grayson, you got us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, we got you loud and clear, So let's start here, Grayson, with the staff changes so far and what you've seen on Baylor's the Baylor offensive side, even starting with Jeff Grimes. How do you rate what Dave Aranda and the program have done in the last 7 days to build this staff?
Oh, guys, it's a home run. And I really don't think you can look at it any other way. I mean, you look at Jeff Grimes, I think the consensus was if Baylor wasn't going to get him, it was because he was probably going to be a head coach somewhere. So I think he's a guy who has a lot of skins on the wall. He can come to Baylor immediately. And I think he can instill an offense, a culture, and recruit well enough for Baylor to really have some success on the offensive side of the ball. But it didn't stop there. And I think that's the key to note. I mean, Chancey Stuckey is a guy who's young and up and coming, and a guy who has had great experience under Dabo Swinney. And I think he's a guy who's going to come in and bring his knowledge. And also I think he's going to recruit at a very high level. And in the state of Texas, if you can recruit wide receivers really well, you got a shot at landing some high-end talent there for sure, possible pro prospects as well. So they've done a great job. I think all around it looks great. And then today, obviously, Eric Mateos, that's another great hire to make up for the loss of Coach Pugh. And so now I think they've built it to the point where they're going to be very, very strong on the offensive side of the ball and take a step up.
So with this staff, one of the things that I see, and I'm sure you'll agree, these are guys that we could very well see in head coach roles in the next 5 years. They can move on, either step up the ladder at other programs or be head coaches at their own program. Is that a good thing? Is that what you want in your staff? Or are you trying to hire guys that are older and are going to stay for 10 years? Or do you want the up-and-coming guys that need to prove themselves?
Oh, you want the up-and-coming guys. You want the guys that are going to go be coaches somewhere else, because not only does that mean you're winning football games, but it also means that you've hired a really, really elite staff, and it also makes hiring more appealing for other up-and-coming guys. So if you can lead guys to the NFL and then bring them to Baylor, you kind of get that historical, I guess, momentum there where you're able to go out and get those up-and-coming guys and bring them onto the staff because they see what has happened in the past.
So of these guys that you've seen too, and I'm sure you'd agree, they all have that head coach potential and the potential to continue to move up the ladder and make waves in college football for years to come. But one of the big surprises for me was hiring Eric Mateos. We compared it to Christmas morning. You wake up and you expect to get a brand new car. You walk outside and it's not there. You got socks and underwear. And then it turns out the new car was just in the backyard. And you find out you actually did get the new car, and that new car being Eric Mateos. Is that the biggest surprise of this entire hiring process?
Oh, yeah, I guess you'd have to say that. And honestly, I mean, losing Ryan Pugh has to be up there as well. I mean, because you lose him, but then obviously you're able to rebound and go get Eric Mateos, who I think a lot of people would have said at the beginning of the process once they got Jeff Grimes, oh, it's definitely going to be Mateos as the guy who they're going to land and the guy who they're going to bring onto the staff. But it didn't happen like that. It kind of went another direction. And then, of course, Pugh doesn't work out. So now Mateos is there. And, I mean, if you look at what he did at BYU with Jeff Grimes, I mean, there's a reason to be optimistic. They did a great job building an offensive line out of guys who weren't highly rated coming out of high school. They developed really well, and they ended up being one of the most dominant offenses in the country last season.
Talk about cohesiveness, too. One of the things that we've mentioned almost all week is having Dave Aranda coaching now with a staff of people he's familiar with Jeff Grimes and even Eric Mateos. But for Grimes even making that hire, how key is it that a lot of these guys have been together before?
Yeah, that's big. I would say that if you look at some of the other guys on the offensive staff, maybe that's not necessarily the case with everyone. I mean, Sean Bell didn't exactly have a huge relationship with anyone outside of Aranda coming into this. And I mean, Chancey Stuckey, I don't even know really what the relationship is there. I think that was more of a hire just because, you know, in the coaching realm, you hear a lot of names. You get a lot of information and you kind of find those up and coming guys. But I'm not sure that Stuckey really had a relationship prior with any of them. But yes, the other guys on staff that have been around each other a lot, I think Mateos and Grimes specifically, just because it was so recent and it was, you know, OC offensive line coaches at BYU as well. Now it's at Baylor. That will be huge, I think. And, you know, a lot of people kind of have talked about why isn't Grimes coaching the offensive line? Why is he coaching the tight ends? I can tell you right now, he's going to have his fingerprints all over the offensive line and the tight ends. He's going to be in charge of a lot of things. But it's very important to note there's going to be 5 starters on the offensive line, and it is a big task to have a guy do offense coordinator and offensive line. So you bring in a guy who can really develop the offensive line the way that Baylor needs it to. I think it's a home run, and I think it's pretty much the obvious choice that they were going to go out and hire an offensive line coach.
With Mateos coming on, we talked about how that may be the biggest surprise, especially in the way that kind of matriculated and ended up coming about. On the other end, who is the biggest question mark for you? And question mark isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know it gets a negative connotation, but would that be Chancey Stuckey, a guy you don't know a lot about that you're still curious to hear more from? Or is there somebody else you're still waiting to see, okay, what is this guy's MO?
See, I view them all as very good coaches and guys who are going to excel. But I think I'm going to look at it a little bit of a different way, because there's certainly a couple guys on this staff that are going to have tougher challenges than others. And I think that's where you're going to be asked to take a huge step forward. So my answer to this is actually going to be maybe counterintuitive, but I'm going to go with Sean Bell. And the reason for that is because he's got a huge task coming up, trying to figure out who's going to be the starting quarterback at Baylor. You lose Charlie Brewer, who was the starting quarterback for 4 years. And Sean Bell hasn't had this role before. I mean, this is his first time, and he's got a lot to prove, and he's going to have to get these young guys ready. But there is talent in the room, definitely. Hey, it's the most important position on the field. Sean Bell's got to get it right. Y'all know that.
In our Baylor's second best bracket would prove there is a ton of quarterback bias. So even if it's only in the alumni pool, your quarterback room may be the most special, electric, and the most vital. But your hat right there, Grayson, says run the damn ball. Is that going to be Baylor's key next season? Do you think that Jeff Grimes comes in here with all these new coaches that he's compiled and runs the football day one, or is Baylor about to start slinging it out? What's this guy going to bring to the Baylor offense?
Yeah, so I wear this hat a lot, and it was very fitting today when you asked me to come on and talk about Eric Mateos and, of course, Jeff Grimes. But I'm a huge Colts fan, and this has been kind of their mantra for a little bit with Quentin Nelson and now Jonathan Taylor. But, that's exactly what I think is going to happen with this Baylor program. I do believe they're going to throw the ball. You saw that with Zach Wilson. Of course, they're going to take shots deep. They're going to try to hit explosive plays over the top, which is something Baylor really hasn't had over the past few years. So I think that's going to be a key component to the offense. But at the end of the day, these guys want to run the football. I mean, last year, just alone, these guys ran for 5.4 yards per carry. That's kind of the scheme that they set up. And that's tremendous. 192 yards per game, 34 touchdowns on the ground. But the bigger key to that, and I think, obviously they blocked really well. They moved people really well. They ran the ball really well. But they also only gave up 12 sacks in 12 games. I mean, so the offensive line, this concept of just being physical at the point of attack didn't just stop in the run game. It was a huge part of their passing game as well. So very fun to watch to see this unit in 2019 go from 4.5 yards per carry to 5.4 yards per carry. Yeah. Shows the improvements they made under Grimes and Mateos.
Apart from the offensive staff that'll be handling the daily duties with Baylor's run game, pass game, and the like, talking about the recruiting staff, the hiring of James Blanchard, and then we're looking here at Colt Barber breaking yesterday that Baylor will add Aaron Hunt into the mix as well to help with recruiting duties. Those two hires, what do you make of those, and what does it mean for James Blanchard to be back in Baylor green and gold?
Yeah, so Aaron Hunt, truthfully, don't know a whole lot about him as far as recruiting skins on the wall or what he's going to bring to the table, but he was productive at Texas Tech, so I think he can sell that and sell that production and kind of say some examples of what happened when he went to Tech and share those kind of stories. And I think he'll relate pretty well, I think, with recruits, especially along the defensive line. So I think it's a solid hire. I think he's going to learn a lot this season as well, going through some different challenges. And I know he's a very good scouter, and I think that's going to be a key that he can evaluate talent. As far as James Blanchard goes, this one is absolutely huge because Baylor truthfully struggled a little bit evaluating talent over the past, I'd probably say 6 months. There just wasn't a whole lot of offers going out. A lot of the offers seemed to be going to guys who already had pretty big offer lists. You have to be able to go find hidden gems if you're Baylor. That's always been a recipe for success for this Baylor program. So I think Blanchard will come in, do a great job leading the evaluation department, finding those hidden gems that a lot of schools can't find. But he's also a very good recruiter. You know, he relates pretty well with the players, and he built some really good relationships before he left Baylor, especially with guys in the 2022 class. And I think that's going to be a key thing moving forward. I don't know how much of an effect he'll have on the 2021 class per se, as they kind of round that out with transfers and maybe a couple guys here and there. But for 2022, this could be massive. I posted on the board today. I wrote an article about that James Blanchard hiring, and I think that Baylor's got a chance to jump inside the top 25 in next year's class. I really believe that. I think they got a chance to really push that limit and try to break that ceiling and try to get inside that top 25 with some high-end talent.
So you just mentioned that 2021 class as Baylor is trying to tie those last few knots with different players across the country, especially grad transfers. Everything, it's an open book this season. Anybody can do anything, it seems like. Free game on grad transfers and transfers in general with COVID especially. So where is Baylor right now? It's such an odd situation where you're basically flip my house with the entire offensive staff, yet you're still trying to recruit transfers to come into the program. Where does Baylor sit with guys going out and guys coming in?
Okay, yeah, so I think the going out process is going to take place over the next few months. I think spring football is where you're really going to get to see kind of more of that movement as far as Baylor potentially losing prospects, but or not prospects, but current guys on the roster. So for where they're at right now, obviously the offensive line is just an area that they really have to figure out. I mean that's just true story, and it's been a true story for a few years now. They have to go out and find some guys who have played high-end football, and that's what they're doing. You know, I've gotten a lot of questions about, you know, a guy like Tykeus Crawford, who ended up at Arkansas. That's where he's going. Baylor didn't really recruit him very hard when he entered the portal from Charlotte, because he was a younger guy who they didn't feel was going to be able to come in and play immediately. So my point behind that is Baylor's looking for guys that are going to come in and start. So one of the names, of course, has been mentioned a ton is Vanderbilt offensive lineman Grant Miller. He's been pursued by a whole bunch of schools, including Baylor. But the Bears have done a good job recruiting him, and I think that he's one to definitely pay attention to. And if they can land him, now you have a center moving forward, and you have a nice prospect there. You have Connor Galvin at left tackle, who I think everyone feels pretty good about. You have Xavier Newman coming back. He's got a lot to prove after last season. And you also have some other talent, Casey Phillips, Khalil Keith, but I do think that they're going to look to add probably two more along with potentially Grant Miller. And then from there, I think it's going to be best available types. I think they'll look at the defensive line, potentially adding a pass rusher to make up for the loss of William Bradley King. And then I think on the offensive side, they just might look to add another wide receiver. The issue there is that they're pretty deep there. And so I don't think you want to lose out on talent on your roster if you bring in too many guys, since they already brought in Drew Estrada.
And then last question on the current football side of things. Can you tell us, so people track Zillow, people track Google searches. You know, Tom Herman, we saw that a couple months ago with what was going to happen with the Texas job. The thing that I track, Twitter bios and Twitter headers. And Joey McGuire has not changed anything Baylor yet. And that's the one person, he was number one on my Christmas list to keep Joey McGuire a Bear. Where does that sit right now? What do you know?
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving.
Oh,
I really
he's not
don't.
leaving.
I think, yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen. I truthfully think that right now Joey really likes where he's at with Baylor, and I think that it's a great fit for him and his family. And so right now, I just don't see that happening, at least this offseason. I think it would have happened already as well if that were to happen. So yeah, I think it's a great spot to be in, and I think Joey loves where he's at with Baylor, and he has for a long time.
So you're telling me I can stop waking up at 6 a.m. and checking Joey McGuire's personal Twitter every morning?
I think you can. I don't do that anymore. I did it for a couple years, but yeah, no, I'm good not doing that anymore, and I wouldn't waste too much sleep over it. And honestly, if he does leave, it'll be because he got a great opportunity, to be honest with you. I
am surprised. I would be a lot more fearful of Texas next season if Joey McGuire was their head coach in comparison to Steve Sarkisian. But and McGuire's name was thrown around with that job, not to be the head coach, but to come on with Sarkisian at Texas. And you guys heard it here first. If you guys heard it here first, it looks like McGuire is still a Bear, and we hope we hang on to him. So how about this? Baylor's second best bracket, 32 best players the last decade, excluding RG3 because it wouldn't be fair. We've got Bryce Petty or Sam Hall. And let me tell you, Sam Hall's losing by a lot right now, which is sad, very sad here for us on the show. But he's winning morally because, look, moral victories all around for Sam Hall. He has been destroying it on our live fan feedback today. Who do you go for, though, Sam Hall or Bryce Petty?
So I will say Sam Hall was on the 2012 team, which was my freshman year at Baylor. So I do have some bias there. I really, really like Sam Hall. He was such a good player and such a good part of kind of rebuilding Baylor, but it's Bryce Petty. It has to be. He won too many games.
Look, Sam Hall gets his own plaque in his own respective right. If we did like a moral victories bracket, Sam Hall's number one because he's killing it today. Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
This one's not close for me. It's Spencer Drango. That guy, how much he meant to those Baylor Big 12 championship teams is pretty much indescribable, I would say. I mean, he was fantastic. He's the best tackle I've seen at Baylor in a while, maybe ever, honestly. Yeah. He's definitely up there.
Hopefully Baylor can land one of those in the transfer portal this year, too. We need another Spencer Drango or two to anchor the line for next season. How about this? Baylor and TCU tomorrow in Fort Worth. What's your final score?
I would have thought it would have been a lot closer had I not watched TCU versus Kansas the other day. My goodness, they looked terrible. They didn't even want to be there. So I'm going to go with Baylor. I'll take them 75-60, the Bears.
75, I like that. I don't know Baylor going on the road if they put up more than 80, but I think 75 is a good place to hit it. So a lot of new coaches coming in on the offensive side, Grayson. They're all going to need somewhere to eat and bring their families. Where are they going in Waco?
Oh, I'm biased, and I heard you say this earlier, and I wish I could say somewhere else, but George's is the spot. I mean, that's the place. That is the local legend right there, so George's. We
have like one sect of people that I'm included in that love George's and will not stop picking George's, and the other that is just so staunchly against George's, and we are creating a rift in up-tempo right now. Like, things are splitting very quickly as we speak.
Well, when you have some people saying Rudy's, come on, Armstrong.
Rudy, he literally said Rudy's live on the air.
Unbelievably good.
Literally. Like, I will take that clip. That Armstrong buried himself in the Waco food scene when he said Rudy's.
I don't think so.
I know so. Grayson, thanks so much for joining us today, talking the new offensive hires and the staff, as well as recruiting for Baylor in the transfer portal. Always great to have you on. Awesome insight, my man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Anytime.
Absolutely. Again, that's Grayson Grundhafer with SicEm365.com. You can join the forum and be up to date with live and breaking news constantly. The Eric Mateos hire, hey, we knew about that one about 7 or 8 hours before anybody else did, thanks to the SicEm365 forum. Yep. We're giving away free forum passes, too. Shoot me a text right now, 254-339-1122 that says free forum. 254-339-1122, free forum, and we will get you a free 1-month subscription to the SicEm365.com forum where you can find all of your Baylor Bear breaking news. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We're just joined by Grayson Grundhafer. Coming up at 12, make it 105. 105, Isabella Harvison joins us, the new tennis transfer. She announced yesterday that she's coming to Baylor, a star at Alabama, now a Baylor Lady Bear. And how about it? We're the very first media outlet in Waco to speak to her. We'll have that at 105. But for now, we'll hit Armstrong's Minute in a quick break and be right back on Up Tempo.
Dave Aranda and the Baylor football program wasted no time in filling their unexpected offensive line vacancy, hiring BYU's Eric Mateos to the position yesterday afternoon, per SicEm365.com. Mateos spent the last 2 seasons with the Cougars, coaching under new offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, building one of the most dominant offenses in the nation. Prior to BYU, Mateos had stints at Texas State, LSU, and Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Baylor is also hiring Carolina Panthers' James Blanchard, and former NFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to the staff in recruiting roles. In men's college basketball last night, 12th-ranked Illinois overcame a 15-point halftime deficit at Northwestern to somehow win 81-56. Number 17 Oregon was upset at unranked Colorado, 79-72. And number 1 Gonzaga continued to prove their worth with an 86-69 beatdown of 9-2 BYU. On the women's side, number 8 Texas A&M smacked number 10 Kentucky in College Station 77-60. Number 12 Maryland went on the road to win a thriller against 23rd Michigan State 93-87. And 13th ranked Arkansas was upset by 15 on the road against unranked Tennessee 88-73. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. That's the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Car, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
All right, we are back on Up Tempo in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I am Drake Toll. Armstrong Sims is running the mothership. How do we call that the mothership? Where did that originate? Like, why? What about that Do you like that?
Do I like it be called the Mothership?
Yeah, the Mothership. What a peculiar... We need a sponsor for that.
It is a peculiar name.
Armstrong's Mothership?
I'm not sure that I like it.
I think it's a David Smoak thing. The
It
Mothership.
It just happened.
It just happened. Today's, oh, man... Sam Hall. Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. We got some good stuff coming in here. We have 2 people, Dexter, you're included, that sent in free forum. I've got 2 free forum passes that I'm giving out here really quickly. Armstrong, we're going to get those out to some folks that texted free forum. Still, I've got 2 or 3 more of these, actually. At 254-339-1122, text me free forum, and you can get 1 month free on the SicEm365 forum. And if you already are a subscriber and you say, I don't need a month free, well, you know someone that you love very dearly, that you love enough to give a free forum pass to for a month and bring them on, and they can see what's going on the SicEm365 forum. I was never a big forum guy until I started here, and I love it. Like, I spend so much time of my life on the forum. Like, that's a shameless plug, because I will tell you, I just never really enjoyed, going on forums, but I spend way too much time on these. Is that okay? Am I too young to be doing that?
To be spending time on forums?
To be spending a ton of time on the SicEm365 forum?
Maybe.
I'm a big Crash Davis fan. I'm becoming fans of these people that I've never met on the forum that have the cool little checks and stars and things, and they get accolades as they continue to gain different parts of the forum. I love it. Also, if you're listening on YouTube out there, click the subscribe button. It'll let you know every single time we go live every day on Uptempo and the afternoon show from 3 to 6 with David Smoak, Paul Catalina, and Craig Smoak. Love those guys, and they've got a very special show again today. How about this? The very best of Twitter. Before we get Isabella Harvison in here at 105, the very best of Twitter on our matchups as it currently sits, before we get into Baylor men's basketball, who plays TCU tomorrow. On our matchup, Spencer Drango running away with it against Terrence Ganaway, 66.3% to 66.3%
Well
to
done.
Terrence Ganaway, 33.7%. Bryce Petty, 90.7%.
Oh, my.
Sam Hall, 9.3%.
Hey, that's improvement, actually, from last time we checked, so... Hashtag vote Sam. Keep it going, people.
Sam Hall stan.
Keep it going.
We have the Zip Whip. How could I not call it Zip Whip? This from Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. Well, my name, it is Sam Hall. Sam Hall. Yes, my name, it is Sam Hall. It is Sam Hall. My name is Sam Hall, and I hate you, one and all. And I hate you, one and all. Damn your eyes. That's a Johnny Cash song written about our very own Sam Hall.
Poetry.
Poetic. We got a caller on the line, NBC, to talk about the offensive line coach. It's Matt in D.C. You're on with SicEm365 Radio, and we got a new O-line coach.
That's right, Matt in D.C., first caller all the time. How's it going?
First-time caller, long-time listener, yeah?
First-time caller, right?
Yeah. I'm excited for this offensive line coach. I think the biggest takeaway probably is going to be the fact that since they've been working together the last 2 years, the communication is going to be, just faster and spot on, whereas bringing in the other guy may have been a little bit more delay in the communication as far as what the offensive coordinator wants. With that being said, it's just going to be more streamlined, I think. So we'll see what happens in the long run. But hey, I just want to say, first week of y'all's new show is great. I like the flow. I like the way it's set up. It's awesome, and y'all guys keep it going. My one question is, since this show is all about Baylor sports, Baylor everything, is there going to be an equestrian segment at least once a week?
Did you read my mind? Are you in my mind right now?
I'm in everyone's mind. I'm always in everyone's head. I live in there.
Omnipresent. We have Coach Maxwell of the Baylor equestrian team. I wasn't supposed to say this yet. We got a really good lineup for next week's guest, including Ryan McGuire of the Baylor volleyball team. We got Coach Woodson of the tennis team and Coach Maxwell from the equestrian team. I have a lot of friends, being a Baylor student myself, I have a lot of friends that are on the equestrian team. We are going to have, if not weekly, bi-weekly equestrian segments where we talk about it and have their media sessions. So I didn't know you were a big equestrian guy. I like this. The things you learn.
Basically where I live out in the D.C., Virginia area, right west of D.C., it's all equestrian. It's the suburbs, but it's right a little bit past that, and you get closer to the mountains. It's just all equestrian ranches everywhere, and I got to pass them when I'm headed to West Virginia to go tubing during the summer. So I just see all these horses everywhere. I love horses from Texas, but I just got to understand how the scoring works because every horse looks the same when it's running around there. So if they can explain that to me, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, this I don't know. That, Matt and DC, I cannot help you with. I have tried. I am continually learning the scoring and how the horses like switch feet at time. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this, and we're gonna figure it out at some point. We will figure it out together. Let's do that. That's part of the. We will go to George's and have dinner and figure out equestrian together.
You can go to George's. You can go to George's. I'm going to go to Elk and Keystone and Belmead. All right, that's where I'm going to go.
All right, I like it. That's not a bad call. How about this? Some Bear games, Matt and DC. Bryce Petty or Sam Hall? And if you don't say Sam Hall, I don't know. I'm not going to give you an ultimatum there. Just whoever.
Here's the question for you. If we remove Sam Hall, do we still win the Big 12 title in 2013, or do we still win it if we remove Bryce Petty?
Uh-oh. I mean, Bryce Petty did trip that one time, remember?
Yeah, but we won the championship. If Sam Hall doesn't play any of those games, we still win it.
Fine.
Nothing against Sam, a great player, but I looked up his stats. He contributed 0 touchdowns in 4 years for Baylor. You know, Bryce Petty only contributed almost every single one while he was here. So just saying.
I can't argue.
No, Matt. Well, I have
Armstrong
a problem with that.
Okay, Armstrong's gonna. Okay, good luck, you guys.
Please continue.
No, you realize he was a defensive player, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of
it.
I understand
I'm
it's a
not the one who
joke, but
set
it's
up the
also
bracket.
stupid.
You should have put defensive player bracket, offensive player bracket. Well, when you put offense versus defense, unless that defensive player is a Deion Sanders type cornerback, which we haven't had over the past 10 years, we haven't had someone score that many points. The offensive player is going to win.
Whoa, did you not see Jalen Petrie play half of Baylor's offensive snaps this season? He scored the majority of our points.
He ain't on the bracket.
That's a good point. No, he's not. That's a very good point. Matt and DC.
Oh, there we go.
I can't argue with logic. All right, how about Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
See, I was torn with this, and I did vote for Terrence on the Twitter, but listening to Grayson talk about Drango, he made a hell of a good point. So I'm going to retract and go with Spencer Drango on this.
Spencer Drango. All right. And then how about who wins in Baylor TCU tomorrow? Final score?
Oh, Baylor. I'm going to say 100-75.
100-75? I like that. It's an even score. We've had a lot of people have TCU over 70 points or around 70. I don't know about it. Maybe. What do you know about TCU's offense that I don't?
Well, they beat us when it counted the most last year, and all I know is that we're going to be coming there pissed off, ready to light them up. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Well, let's see what else I got. One restaurant in Waco. What are you going with?
One restaurant in Waco. Well, actually, I did have the pleasure of returning to Waco this past Christmas for the first time since 2017. And so I was able to jump around and try all the new, the new food hall.
Yeah.
There's an Italian restaurant downtown. I run around. So basically, since I just now got back there for 3 years, I'm just going to say every new restaurant in Waco that's been built since 2017 is my go-to now. So.
Wow. All right. Well, you hear that? New coaches, go to every new restaurant that's been built since 2017. That narrows it down. Matt and DC, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
All right. Back into the Petty Clinic Low T studio, Drake Toll and Armstrong Sims. All right, Armstrong, here's what we got.
Yep.
Baylor men's basketball. Scott Drew. You know who Scott Drew's dad was or is? It is still his dad, best that I know.
I think he still is.
Homer Drew, one of the most legendary coaches of all time, Valparaiso. But Scott Drew surpassed him with the win earlier this week against Oklahoma. 372 career Division I wins for Scott Drew, passing Homer Drew, who has 371. And here was a very special message that Baylor basketball put out on Twitter.
Oh, hold on. We got audio.
You can only guess what he's saying. It's immaculate. It is immaculate.
It's a pretty good presentation from him, but
it is. They played this in the arena after the game as well. Message from Father Homer Drew to son Scott Drew. I'm ready when you are, Armstrong.
Congratulations, Coach Scott Drew, on achieving this remarkable goal. I think No, I was only kidding, Scott. Very happy, very proud of your accomplishments. And want to say a special thanks to all the basketball players and Baylor family for helping my son accomplish this goal. SicEm Bears.
I love it. I love Homer Drew. My high school basketball coach was a big Homer Drew guy, so I got acquainted with Homer Drew and his work. And that's awesome, man. You know, and for Scott Drew to see that from his dad. Also, on Wednesday night in Baylor basketball, Jerome Tang blew up Twitter with this. It went viral. His prayer prior to the game on a day that was trying for the entire country, where a lot of people in the professional sports world didn't even play because of events that took place in Washington, D.C. And then Jerome Tang, Baylor assistant basketball coach, who was the stand-in head coach earlier this season, had this prayer that went viral on Twitter, and man, this is something.
Bow your heads with me. Father God, Lord, we come before you today humbly, Lord God. God, we lift up our nation to you today, Lord God. We lift up the capital and the leadership, Lord God, right now. We ask for wisdom and grace and mercy to be poured down in Washington, D.C. right now. And Father God, we ask, Lord God, that today, Lord God, in the hearts of the young men that are going to compete tonight, that you would raise up future senators and congressmen and presidents, Lord God, who would lead our country, Lord God, to seek justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with you. Now, Lord, we lift up our officials. We ask you to keep them safe. Lord God, we ask you for protection over our players, both teams. Let them compete to the highest level, Lord God, but to be safe and to have great sportsmanship. And we ask that all the fans in the stands would use their energy to cheer their teams on, Lord God. And God, I just pray that you would give us, Lord God, wisdom moving forward, to love each other, to seek peace, Lord God, and to love you. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Boom. Come on. Jerome Tang of the Baylor men's basketball program. How is that guy? Now, I ask how, as if, you know, he's staying because he has to, but he doesn't. That dude could be a head coach at a Division I Power 5 school tomorrow if he wanted to, but his loyalty to Baylor, you can see his passion, not just for Baylor, but the opportunity to do that. Like, you don't get to do that kind of stuff at every school in the country. That's what makes Baylor special. That's what's awesome. That was cool. To be in the arena for that as well on a day that, again, was very trying for those across the country, that was awesome. Some of the best things we've seen on Twitter this week or on social media in general. We're big Twitter guys here on Uptempo. How about this? The Hody, the Mortel Award, the Holder of the Year Award in college football. You ask me, you say, Drake, how do you give out a Holder of the Year award in college football? And my response to you is, I have no clue, not even remotely. But this year, the Hody, the Mortel Award, 2020 Holder of the Year goes to Spence, leave off the R. There is an R, but it's silent. Spence Jones of OU football. Armstrong, do you have that video queued up as well?
I don't have it queued up.
Right there on the that same little Twitter shared file.
Oh.
And it's
give me a sec.
Pretty immaculate what the Hody put out to award Spence the Mortel Award for Holder of the Year. On top of that,
and we have it now.
Perfect. Baylor women's volleyball, not to be confused with men's volleyball. Thank you, ESPN, for clarifying. Baylor women's volleyball is number 6 in the preseason ESPN volleyball poll, behind Wisconsin at 1, then Texas, Stanford, Kentucky, Nebraska, and Baylor at 6. Chip on your shoulder. I expected Baylor to be top 3, top 5. Number 6, thank you. Add fuel to the fire. But this, the Hody, Holder of the Year Award, Spence Jones of OU football. Congratulations. And this video is golden.
Hey, Spence, we just wanted to let you know that you are the Holder of the Year.
Wow, thank you so much. Congratulations. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful to be receiving the most prestigious award in all of college football. I couldn't have done it without Coach Riley and Coach Doherty for giving me the opportunity, my friends and family for the endless support, and my teammates, especially kicker Gabe Burkage and long snapper Casey Kelleher. Connor McGinnis, former Hody winner, set the standard for holders at Oklahoma, and while we've been called RBU and QBU, Today, we can now be called Holder U. I know my draft stock has risen tremendously over this past season, but there's still more to be done for Sooner Nation. So with that being said, I am announcing that I will be foregoing the NFL draft and be coming back for my 6th year. Laces out and Boomer Sooner.
Legend.
Laces out and Boomer Sooner.
He's coming back for his 6th year, baby.
The holder of the year, Spence Jones. He is my early preseason favorite for the Heisman. For those of you that are watching on YouTube that I told to go to the app, I know you couldn't get video on that, but you're going to want to see it. Spence Jones is the holder of the year. This tweet from the 1012 podcast says, "This is weird to say." That's right above it on the same Twitter thing, Armstrong. Okay. "This is weird to say, but is Texas the dark horse Big 12 title contender for next season? ? And then the retweet on that, the quote tweet says, "Death, taxes, and blank." Because every year, it happens every year. It doesn't matter what Texas does. They're always the dark horse favorite to win the death, taxes, and this is weird to say, but is Texas the dark horse Big 12 title contender for next season?
It reads so beautifully, too.
It literally happens every single year where Texas, I guarantee you, those of you watching out there, I'll put dinner at George's on it, that Texas will be ranked in the top 20 next season. 17. I'll say like 17, which is like on the low end. They might be a top 10 team.
I think it's higher.
They might, because their backup just played really well in the bowl game. So he's going to be probably 4th in the Heisman voting early season. And Texas is going to be a top 15 team.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just how it goes.
Definitely.
Then they're going to lose week 2 to Arkansas. Actually, it's Arkansas this year. Week 2 Texas is an FCS team, a bad FCS team. Elsewhere around the country, Ramondre Stevenson at Oklahoma has declared for the NBA draft. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't be the first time we've seen guys switch over. He is declared for the NFL draft. Ramondre Stevenson is not coming back. Ohio State football liked this tweet as Jim Harbaugh is closing in on a deal, a 5-year deal to stay at Michigan with a $4 million base salary. What? You're telling me that Michigan is going to bring Harbaugh for 5 years back to the program, and Texas can't hang on to Tom Herman just a little bit longer? Come on, man. I was on the extend Tom Herman train, and it didn't happen. Look at that. Yeah, so Bleacher Report tweets that Jim Harbaugh is close to finalizing a 5-year deal to stay at Michigan with a $4 million base salary. And the Ohio State football account liked the tweet. They liked the tweet.
And then they tweeted about it, and then the Ohio State quote tweeted it again. Just further emphasizing
they're excited about that. Also this, we got the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. This says, "I'm voting for Sam Hall. He's not my grandson, but he's a really nice young man." Sam Hall, I don't know where you are today. I don't know if you're listening, but you're a winner on this show.
You get some love.
This show loves you. Nobody in this bracket has gotten as much love as Sam Hall is getting right now. In the NCAA last night, I'm not sure if you saw it, Illinois basketball, top 15 team, number 12. They were at Northwestern, down by 15 at halftime. 15-point game. Only for Northwestern to just lay an egg and be outscored 53-13 in the second half. They blew a 15-point lead. They didn't even score 15 points in the second half. And they lost 81-56. Number 12 Illinois, wins at Northwestern on the road. Look at that. Halftime, Northwestern by 15. I've never seen anything like that.
That's crazy.
College basketball is weird, but that's like excessively weird.
Yeah.
So here we got a couple more updates. We got to hit this break right here and have Isabella Harvison coming on with us on Up Tempo. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. This is Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
It's pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and you know, I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
All right, we bring it back to the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I am Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims, and now we're joined by a very special guest, Baylor's newest Bear. I think we can still say that, Armstrong. I think Isabella Harbison is Baylor's newest Bear, as she, from the Alabama women's tennis team, is transferring to Baylor to play for Coach Scrivano and one of the very best programs in the country. Isabella, first and foremost, welcome to Baylor, and we're so glad to have you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So for you, Isabella, I tell you, and I'm sure you're familiar with Coach Scrivano and the entire program now as you've decided to transfer. This place is truly special in the way that Baylor fans and the family, they don't just rally around solely football or solely basketball. People here, from facilities and coaching to fans, they all care about every sport individually. And is it that sense of family that brought you to Baylor?
Yes, and I am very excited to become a Baylor Bear, and I can't wait to come.
Absolutely. So your career in tennis, kind of walk me through how long you've played and really where all you've been since you started playing tennis.
So I started playing tennis when I was 5 years old, and when I was 12, I moved to Spain, to Barcelona.
Wow.
And it was to get closer to my parents' business, which is in the Czech Republic. And I've been very fortunate to play a lot of tournaments in Spain and travel to play ITFs and local tournaments. So that's where I lived before I came to college.
Oh my goodness. So where all, you talking about Spain, and you said you played tennis since you were 5. Where all have you played tennis or lived in your life before?
So I'm originally from Cardiff, California. I lived 9 years in California. Before I lived in California, I lived in the Czech Republic for 3 because my mom is Czech American and my dad is from New Zealand. And then I moved after California moved to Barcelona, and then I came to college to play tennis.
So talk about some of the recruiting process that you've gone through as you decided that for your tennis career you were looking to transfer. What went into that decision for you, and why Baylor? How did Baylor even come up on your radar?
Well, Baylor is a prestigious school. It's closer to family. I have family in Houston. The solid tennis team also helped, and it has an accredited public health program, which is what I was looking for. That was the main reason why I was going to transfer.
Yeah. And so who was it at Baylor, too, that was really your main point of contact? Was it Coach Scrivano that you really got connected to and got close with to know to come to Baylor amongst the staff?
So before I committed to Alabama, I actually visited Baylor. I went on an unofficial visit. So I knew Coach Scrivano before I committed. The relationship we have is really good, and I'm really excited to be part of the Baylor tennis team. So,
wow. So Isabella says here, 19-match singles winner for the Alabama Crimson Tide, signed with Baylor just Thursday. So this is all very, very fresh for you. Are you confident in your decision to become a Bear? Is this home for you?
Absolutely, it is.
Wow. And then,
I'm so excited.
well, we're glad to have you and glad to have you in a Baylor uniform next season. And looking at what you were able to do at Alabama and your score, I mean, we're looking at your scores here and your record, and it was fantastic. You've had fantastic numbers at the university. What do you attribute your college success to? I mean, did you walk in from day one and just feel very confident in your game?
I certainly had a lot of help, and I really appreciated the help from the coaches there.
I love it. I love it. And a 9-4 record, number 2 spot in singles over at Alabama. And we have some live fan feedback. So like I said, Isabella, what you get at Baylor, and I'm sure you know this, what you get at Baylor is something you don't really see at most colleges, and that is a love for sports outside of just football and basketball. People that really care about every individual program. And Scott Bancali, Scotty B, the Baylor King, is one of those guys, big women's tennis fan. We know that. He has a couple questions here. This first one says, who do you model your game after? So who in tennis do you look to really build your game off of?
I would say Serena Williams, because my game is aggressive. I would say it's all court aggressive baseliner. So I'm the type that tries to take control of the point and dictate the points with my forehand, and I'll mix in some changes of heights and speeds and hit a few drop shots so it's uncomfortable for my opponent.
Yeah. And then he also asks, what are your strongest parts of your tennis game? What do you feel most confident in when you step on the court in your game?
My serve and my forehand.
Yeah.
My serve and my forehand.
Now, in your experience, too, and coaching that you've had personally, how much have you worked on those two aspects of your game to create that? Did those come naturally, or are those things that you've just honed in on your game?
Well, I feel like, how to answer this? I feel like that it needed to take a lot of practice, and just like with every shot, I mean, some shots were easier for me to develop than others, but I would say with a lot of practice, and I think that really helped a lot.
Yeah. So for you in this next season, we're seeing here that with the transfer rules, it's still up in the air on whether or not you'll be able to play this season. It looks like that's probably doubtful or completely in doubt. So what do you see over the next 6 months even for you? What's it going to look like being a part of this program? How much will you get to play or practice? What are you expecting day one when you walk on campus?
Well, I'm hoping to play. I'm really hoping to play because that's certainly been on my mind, and working towards getting ranked and eventually going to NC2As as a team and as an individual. And then maybe if I go home in the summer back to Barcelona, I would play some women's ITF tournaments to keep things up and going.
Wow. So Are you, and this is awesome. Are you in Barcelona right now?
No, I'm in Houston. I came from Barcelona a few days ago, so I'm still feeling the jet lag.
Oh my goodness. So how long have you been in Barcelona? Was that just over Christmas break?
I was there for 2 months, and now I'm back in the United States.
Oh my goodness. So you're effectively, your entire recruiting process in the last 2 months, deciding where you were going to transfer, you were working through Zoom calls and recruiting calls while living in Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah, but I entered the portal like a week and a half ago. So.
Oh my goodness. So this is all very fresh for you too.
Correct, yeah.
Wow. Now, when you entered the portal and you talked about how you had already visited Baylor and been around Baylor and had fallen in love with the program as a recruit originally, did you know upon entering the portal 10 or so days ago that Baylor is where you wanted to land?
I was certainly hoping that it would be an option. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the option when I entered. I contacted a few schools that I was really interested in, and I had visited before. I committed to Alabama with accredited public health programs. The main idea was that I found schools that had my public health accreditation program. So that's what I based it on, schools.
And you say that this right here, 2020 SEC first year academic honor roll nod, in addition to being named 2020 ITA Scholar Athlete. So obviously your education means a lot to you. Baylor being as prestigious as they are from an educational standpoint, do you feel like that right there is what really made you want to come here?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Oh, no problem. Is it the education? Is it Baylor's educational value that made you want to play and be a Lady Bear?
It's part of it. And yes, it is.
Absolutely. And to know that as an athlete you want to be pushed, especially academically, is huge. And Baylor is for sure going to do that. A student myself. I'm a sophomore at Baylor right now, and I can tell you the education is not as easy as I think some people go into college expecting it to be. But hey, for somebody that obviously appreciates academics and appreciates having a hard or a rigorous education, it's going to be a great fit for you. And this right here talks about you living in Spain. We're reading over some of the bios that have been sent out and some of the press releases for the last couple of days. So tell me, fun fact, are you fluent in Spanish?
Correct. Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. So when it comes to the tennis program, I know there are a lot of players who come from overseas or from Europe in general, whether it be on the men's or women's side. Have you gotten familiar with any of the Baylor tennis players yet? I know this is, you're 24 hours in. Have you been able to talk to any of the Baylor players?
I actually knew Alicia Herrera before college. I mean, we didn't know each other personally very well, but we played tournaments together and we hit together.
Oh, good. So you got somebody that you're connected to here?
Yes, and I have talked to some of the girls, and they've reached out, and they've been great.
Wow. And this too, ranked as high as 31 in the Spanish Open ranking system for juniors while living in Barcelona and playing in Barcelona. Let me ask you this. How different is it playing tennis in Spain or overseas than it is playing college tennis in America?
It's very different. The surface is obviously, clay over there. There's not much hard in Spain, I would say. And there are ads.
Yeah.
So, and the training is different too, but it's a long story to talk about.
Yeah. So what's next for you? What day will you plan to step foot on Baylor's campus, meet the team, meet the coaches, and hit the ground running? Is that soon for you?
I believe it may be Monday or Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Wow. This is unbelievable. The fact that, and I get stressed out over what I'm going to eat for breakfast every morning. And 10 days ago, you entered the transfer portal in Barcelona, Spain. And now you're a Baylor Lady Bear and may walk on campus even Monday or Tuesday of next week. Isabella, that is unbelievable. And just really, I got to reiterate back to my very first question. How excited are you to put on that green and gold jersey and be a Baylor Lady Bear?
I'm very excited. I feel very privileged and grateful.
Absolutely. Isabella Harbison, Baylor's newest Lady Bear, a transfer tennis star from the University of Alabama, and a great pickup for Joey Scrivano and his program. Isabella, we're excited to have you in Waco, and welcome to Baylor. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for Isabella coming on the show and introducing herself to Baylor Nation, the newest Lady Bear. Look at this, Armstrong, 31st in the Spanish Open ranking system for juniors. She was 9-4 at Alabama in singles, the number 2 spot. She's only a sophomore, Isabella Harbison. Lived in Cardiff in California, moved to Barcelona, Spain. And we just found out she's been in the transfer portal for 10 days. 11 days ago, she hadn't even decided she was going to transfer yet. And now she's at Baylor, will walk on campus on Monday. Could have been anywhere in the country. That a testament to Joey Scrivano, his staff, what they put together at Baylor. That's huge. Armstrong?
Yeah, that is huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of really cool stuff this week, and this first week of Up-Tempo has been awesome across the board. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. We need more of that. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. That was Isabella Harbison. She's got to be the newest Bear.
Definitely.
Like across the board.
I think so.
Across the board. Coming from Barcelona, Spain a few days ago. Now she's in Houston. She'll be in Waco on Monday. Unbelievable. Let's hit Armstrong's Minute, a quick break, and be right back on Up-Tempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricUSA.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trust the doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8 year old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
You're crazy.
With so many companies and policies.
What's happening?
Armstrong's got the mixer board over there. Armstrong was a DJ in high school. He's got the commercials mixed with the intro music. Guys, Barcelona, Spain. Come on, Up Tempo today. First time she's been able to talk to Baylor media. 11 days ago, that wasn't going to happen. She announces yesterday, like, she hasn't even been a Baylor Bear for 24 hours. That press release went out at like 8 p.m. last night.
Yep. And then you tweeted like 2 minutes later, we got her.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Drake's on top of that.
Drake on top of that.
Yeah.
Dexter Jones calling in about the quarterback decision. Dexter, look, there are a lot of questions at quarterback, but ain't nothing going to break my stride, Matthew Wilder. I'm feeling good today, Dexter. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jake. How are you?
You know what? I am. Good. Suspense.
That's good to hear. Well, with a bunch of offensive changes, just wanted to pick your brain on a couple things. Also, JD not being on, I feel like we can be real man-to-man. Curious on your decisions regarding Charlie's playing time this past year, and if that was Aranda's decision or Larry Fedora's position.
Yeah.
And also kind of want to get your opinion on if Aranda will have a strong opinion on quarterback moving forward. So it's kind of a two-part question, but just want to talk quarterbacks.
So here's what I've learned, Dexter, in my first really, being around Dave Aranda as a coach. Dave Aranda is a very, very great defensive mind, and he spent a lot of time around the defense and with the defense last year. I think you had a coach in Larry Fedora that was going to take the reins of the offense, make it his, had a lot of stuff coming in, a lot of ideas, an experienced guy, which is kind of why I like that Baylor hasn't gone after another head coach to be the offensive coordinator. So I think Aranda will be a part of the quarterback battle. He may even be the one that helps make that final decision, but I think he has a lot of trust in Jeff Grimes, his guy he brought in. Aranda and Larry Fedora had never coached together. Grimes and Aranda, though, they're experienced around one another. So I think Aranda is going to pass the reins to him a lot on that, but I appreciate that. Dave Aranda has never been a head coach until this past season. He's never had to facilitate both offense and defense. Now that he does, I think he's going to be much more comfortable with Jeff Grimes and giving him that decision. But I personally think you have a 4-quarterback battle right now. People can speculate it's 2 between Bohannon and Zeno. There's been speculation over Bohannon changing positions. I think you have 4 quarterbacks. I personally want to see Kyron Drones. I want to see what the guy can do on a football field. He looks really, really good. Elite 11, good quarterback, good build, can run, can chunk the football. I think Kyron Drones may be the answer to Baylor's quarterback issues that they had this past season. Maybe not, though. I like Jacob Zeno, too. I was on the Charlie Brewer train, so I haven't really warmed up as much to Zeno, but that was a long, convoluted way to say that I don't really know. And I don't think anybody really has a beat on what that's going to look like, but I can tell you this, there will be a quarterback battle. They're not going to name a quarterback next week until they get in spring practices and let all 4 of those guys throw the rock around. And I tell you, it's going to look even weirder because you got one of your best in Blake Shapen, who's going to be playing baseball while that battle's going on. So, Dexter, a lot of questions and a lot up in the air, but I think you're going to see a quarterback battle and a quarterback decision that's put in the hands of Jeff Grimes and Sean Bell that Dave Aranda facilitates, but that Bell and Grimes really make the final call in.
Absolutely. No, I think it's going to be a super interesting time to see what ultimately happens. I'm with you. I would love an open battle, just everyone let the best man win.
Yeah.
Don't know if that was the situation last year. Obviously, I'm a big Zeno fan, so yeah. I thought he should have gotten more playing time. But, yeah, if Kyron is our guy next year, let it happen, and let's see if we can get that 7-5 7-5 season started.
I like
that's
7-5.
all I got for you. Also, our call stopped short, so I want to play Bear games today.
Bear games, baby. Bryce Petty or Sam Hall. Before you vote here too, Dexter, we're getting Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. Somebody sent in 2 pictures of Sam Hall making an interception in the end zone against Texas at Floyd Casey to win the Big 12 championship. We got another texter, Michael Hunt, says that he's voting for the Little Lamb, Sam Hall. We got a bunch of Sam Hall voters in here. I don't think Sam Hall is going to win.
Okay, here's the thing about if you say he has 0 touchdowns. Okay, but how many touchdowns did he save?
Yeah.
How many touchdowns did he prevent? And then how many,
Dexter, we're swaying your vote right now. I feel bad. This is we're leading.
No. Drake, I'm going to be honest with you. When you mentioned Bryce Petty tripping, I just had horrible flashbacks. So let's give Sam Hall a vote.
Sam Hall! He's not going to win, but he tried his best. And I love Sam Hall.
Though. It's more out of love.
Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
We got to go Drango.
Yeah, I like that. I like Drango there. Offensive lineman getting some love. Baylor TCU final score tomorrow.
61-58.
Whoa! Bing, 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 bing. I have a bell. Why did I make the bell noise with my...
Bing, bing, 61, bing, bing.
61-58. Baylor beats TCU. And you got to go to one restaurant in Waco, Dexter. Where are you going?
We're going to go Shorty's.
Oh.
Missed that place for my time down at Baylor. So Shorty's Pizza, a pizza pillow with a pitcher of beer. You can't get anything better.
That's a good point. I like a good pizza pillow, and it's like $4. I like that. Sam, thanks for your call, man.
Thank you.
Let's say I call him Sam. I'm on the Sam Hall train. Dexter, thanks for your call. Up tempo. Yeah. Bryce Petty's going to win that one, but Sam Hall is winning the guest line, the guest and caller line.
That's all that matters to me.
Solely because his grandma called in yesterday and gave him 50 points. I gave him 50 points in executive decision.
Good.
I feel confident in that executive decision. Did it matter in the end? No. But every vote counts. We should have stopped the vote yesterday. We should have hashtag stopped the vote when it was 50-0.
We should have.
And the matchup hadn't started yet, and just move Sam Hall on. What we'll probably do is whoever wins the whole thing, we'll probably do like a Sam Hall play-in bracket, where we give like a 400-vote handicap to Sam Hall and just see what happens to whoever wins it. Spencer Drango is going to win too. Baylor basketball is going to win, if you ask Baylor fans on the Baylor radio show. Tell you what, Armstrong, let's do something new. Let's do the top 5 of the week. We're going to take it to a break with Armstrong's Minute and a quick break and be right back with our top 5 moments of up-tempo this week.
Dave Aranda and the Baylor football program wasted no time in filling their unexpected offensive line vacancy, hiring BYU's Eric Mateos to the position yesterday afternoon, per SicEm365.com. Mateos spent the last 2 seasons with the Cougars, coaching under new offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, building one of the most dominant offenses in the nation. Prior to BYU, Mateos had stints at Texas State, LSU, and Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Baylor is also hiring Carolina Panthers' James Blanchard and former NFL defensive lineman Aaron Hunt to the staff in recruiting roles. In men's college basketball last night, 12th-ranked Illinois overcame a 15-point halftime deficit at Northwestern to somehow win 81-56. Number 17 Oregon was upset at unranked Colorado, 79-72, and number 1 Gonzaga continued to prove their worth with an 86-69 beatdown of 9-2 BYU. On the women's side, number 8 Texas A&M smacked number 10 Kentucky and College Station 77-60. Number 12 Maryland went on the road to win a thriller against 23rd Michigan State 93-87, and 13th ranked Arkansas was upset by 15 on the road against unranked Tennessee 88-73. I'm Armstrong Simpson. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors that Baylor trusts, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
You want to know why Stonewood Dental is so successful? Listen to what happy customers have to say.
It's pleasant. It's different than any other dentist office. I really feel like they care. And it's not that you're here for 2 hours waiting on someone to take care of you. It's quick and easy, and I bring my kids, and my kids love being here too. They really love the treasure box. Staff is really nice and accommodating, real friendly. You feel more like home. It's not sterile looking. Everybody has their own personalized rooms with decorations and decor, and they'll even have a blanket for you when it's cold. I've recommended people to actually come here, and they are patients now. I really love it here. It feels like family.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
Come on! Again! Let's go! Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims, Up Tempo, joined by Mary Hall on the Impact Health Labs caller line, 254-339-1122. Miss Mary, you are always welcome on Up Tempo, and thank you for calling back in today. I said it. Miss Mary, if you call in today, I'll give 50 more votes for Sam, and I'm going to do it. Welcome into the show.
Well, hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, Miss Mary, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes. Well, it's so nice to be able to hear a Texan again.
Miss Mary, I am an Arkansan, but close. That's the same thing. It's one and the same. Originally I am.
Anyway, I wanted to vote for Sam Hall again, if I'm able.
You are, 100%. Miss Mary, I gave the challenge at the beginning of the show. I said if you called back in today, I would give him 50 more votes. So I want you to know that on our guest and call line, that Sam is now winning 110 to 50.
Oh, how wonderful.
So,
I love that.
Sam is going to win What's that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, well.
I just said that's great.
Yes, ma'am. He is going to win the guest and call line. We'll combine those votes with some votes on social media. And let me tell you what, I hope we can get Sam on the team. Do you have, on the show, do you have Sam's number?
Yes.
Oh, well,
I do. He was on a show not too awful long ago, and was it your show? Because I don't remember which show it was.
I think he was on SicEm. He was on SicEm365 Radio on the afternoon show. So not my show, but our other show. But I'll tell you what, Miss Mary, thanks to his performance today, I'm going to reach out to him and try to get him on as soon as possible.
Okay, here, I have his telephone number.
You don't
want
have,
it, Bill?
no, ma'am, that's okay. I've got, his dad just texted me right now on our text line, Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line, and said, here's a picture of his sister, Holly. Oh, my goodness. Holly Hall
yes.
hitting a walk-off
Isn't
home
she
run at the World
beautiful?
Series. Oh, she's spectacular. I think that was the game against Kentucky, Armstrong, where Baylor came back from a 7-0 deficit. Miss Mary, you've got a whole family of athletes.
Yes, I do. I'm very proud of them.
Oh, my goodness. The whole Hall family. Look, we need a segment, Deck the Halls, where we bring the entire family on this show and talk about their athletic career at Baylor, because, Miss Mary, you are blessed with some athletes.
Well, I know that. Yes, I am.
All right.
I'm very, very lucky.
So
They're lovely young people.
I've got your vote down for Sam Hall today against Bryce Petty. Let me ask you one more question, Miss Mary. Baylor plays basketball tomorrow against TCU. Who do you think's going to win that one?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Well, let's hope. I don't know. I haven't been following, but let's hope Baylor wins.
Let's hope Baylor wins.
And I want you to talk to my partner here.
Okay.
My husband is deceased, and now I have a wonderful new partner. So his name is Bill. It's just Bill.
All right, Mr. Bill. Can you hear me, Mr. Bill?
No. Yes, I can hear you fine. And I do have a different last name, but I've been with Mary now for 12 or 13 years, so that makes me grandfather by default or something like that. So I want to vote for Sam Hall.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Bill, give me – I said it. I said if Sam's grandparents call in, which de facto, I'm going to give you another 50 votes. So that's 160 to 50. He leads on the guest and caller line. Sam Hall is killing it today.
Great. Well, we watched all his games when he was playing, and we miss watching, but we're glad to be able to vote for him because he is the second best player in our view, no doubt.
All right, let me ask you this, Mr. Bill. You and Miss Mary both. If you're going to take sweet Miss Mary out on a date in Waco town, what restaurant are you going to take her to?
I'll have to ask her the name of it because she's more familiar with it than I am.
Oh, let's see. I haven't spent much time in Waco because I used to live in Fort Worth, and now I live in Ohio, but now I'm in Florida. So I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but I remember it had several rooms, and you could see outside really well. I'm sorry, it's been
Miss
probably
Mary?
10 years.
Is that George's? Are you talking about George's?
Maybe that's it.
That's it.
You know I'll take her wherever she wants to go, of course.
Oh, you better be treating her right because she's our new favorite caller on this radio program.
She's a very special woman.
Both of you, thank you so much for calling into Uptempo. It is a pleasure to have you both on.
Well, it certainly is nice to talk to you, and best of luck with your new show.
Thank you so much, and best of luck with keeping up with all your grandchildren that are playing sports.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you both. What a great call, man. We love having those on. Bill and Miss Mary. Jeez. Can we clip that and again put that everywhere?
Yes.
If anything exists.
We can.
Today, we're also going through our, look at that. Sam's dad sending a picture, like I said.
How about here, I have his number. Let me give it to you on the air.
That was good. I was waiting for that almost a little bit. Sam's dad has sent a Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line a couple of pictures. Sam making an interception against Texas, throwing the horns down. These are unbelievable. We need to have like a whole Sam Hall segment on Monday. This is awesome. And picture of Holly's walk-off home run at the World Series. Unbelievable. What a family. How about this, Armstrong? Let's do top moments of the week. Number 5 on the top moments of Uptempo this week, Felicia Mulkey discussing her team and being a Division I sport.
Oh, we're having audio problems.
I can probably mouth what I'm saying right now. Coach, you're spectacular. You're really, really good at what you do. Oh, you're Armstrong. We got those queued up, though. We got 5 of those today, our top 5 from Up-Tempo. We're pushing time, too. Let me know when you get those audio issues worked out, but we'll go back over those. But, yeah, Sam Hall leading the guest line. And, there you go. Sweet. Let's run that. Felicia Mulkey, number 5. You, 105 wins, 4 losses, 9 national championships, at the forefront of your sport, and one of the very best to ever do it. With all of those accolades already built up, what's next for you? What is your next big goal that you really want to achieve?
Well, we want to win an NCAA title. So that's next. That's what we want. We want an NCAA title as an emerging sport, and then we want an NCAA title as a championship sport. And then we're at 36 schools right now. I want there to be 100 schools, and I want Baylor to win the title then. So let's just Baylor continue to set the standard in everything that they do, marketing, everything, and everybody can follow. We'll continue to get more and more schools, and then let's get back on here and talk again when we're at 50 schools and then at 60 and at 70, and continue to celebrate Baylor's success. That's my goal.
For you. Unbelievable interview yesterday with Felicia Mulkey. That's number 5 on this week's top 5 on Up-Tempo. Number 4, anyone can yell. One of the things that we've talked about in hiring the offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, a couple of days ago, the question was for Baylor, do you want an OC who's a great play caller or a great developer? And then my question for the S&C coach, do you want a guy who is your hype man that gets everybody fired up, or do you want a guy that really digs in and knows the numbers and is by the books from a weight, strength, and conditioning standpoint? Are we getting someone who's more hype train, hold up your 4s, or a guy that's by the numbers, get you in the weight room and get it done there?
No, there are goals, there are weights in terms of how much you want to lift, how strong you want to be, and what you want to actually weigh as a physical human. That's the most important thing. That's the hardest thing to do, is to monitor that and to make sure everyone is hitting their weights. You got to get offensive linemen to gain some weight. You need your defensive linemen to shed some weight. You're moving a guy from safety to linebacker. You need him to put on some pounds, or vice versa. That's the most important. Anybody can yell at a bunch of people. That doesn't take anything. This is the guy that's going to come in and be sure that everyone's hitting their marks, hitting their goals. And that's something they monitor every single day at LSU, and I have no doubt it'll be the same thing in Waco.
Quote of the week, quite possibly, we had a lot of them. Anyone can yell. But Baylor's new strength and conditioning coach, Vic Valoria, he's coming in with X's and O's marked down and ready to go. How about this? Number 3 on our top 5 this week. Baylor hires Dabo Swinney as the wide receiver coach. I guess Dabo himself, it's tough to find better praise than comparing him to Dabo Swinney.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a Dabo Swinney influence. You'll see that when it's hard to explain until you actually see him coach. Yeah. But when you see him coach, and you're going to see this intensity, you're going to see this demand that he's going to have for his players, this this all in, if you will, to work. That's all Dabo Swinney. I'm telling you that right now. That's all Dabo Swinney from the day he got there. Dabo came in 2003, and Chancey moved over to wide receivers in 2004. So he pretty much spent the majority of his career working with Dabo. So, but it's hard to say as a coach who he looks like, other than Tyler, because I've seen him with Tyler, and they're very much alike, their coaching styles. But Dabo is definitely the guy. I mean, if you have to pick one guy, it's definitely going to be Dabo Swinney.
We got Chancey Stuckey, the new wide receiver coach at Baylor, comparable to Dabo Swinney, national championship head coach at Clemson. A great hire for Baylor, Jeff Grimes, and the offensive staff. How about this? Number 2 on the Up-Tempo's top 5 this week. Bears and Bust. This coming earlier this week. My superlatives from last weekend. Today on Twitter, PFF College, so that is Premium Data and Analytics College Twitter, announces Dan Mullen as their head coach of the year in college football.
No way.
I almost want to change my bust from Dan Mullen to PFF College Twitter for saying that. It's blasphemy. That's not real. That's not real. My number 1 bust of the weekend is Dan Mullen. Mike Leach is not far behind him. But Dan Mullen comes in against an Oklahoma team. You don't think Oklahoma hasn't dealt with COVID and opt-outs? Dan Mullen comes into this, and sure, you're missing players because of COVID. You're missing players because of opt-outs. Yes. But he comes out after getting absolutely throttled in a football game, and Dan Mullen says, well, that wasn't really my football team out there. My football team quit playing 11 days ago. What does it say to your team? And then not only that, it's the same thing as like when you're in middle school and you tell a girl like, hey, I like you. And then she says, oh, that's gross. And your response is, no, I was just kidding. Because Dan Mullen, they play the football game. They get trounced by Oklahoma. And his response to that is, we didn't even have to play today. We didn't have enough players. We could have opted out and not played the bowl game. You're all blessed as college football fans that we even played. That's terrible. That's not how life works. You can't do something poorly and then be like, yeah, I'm just kidding. I didn't really have to do that. I just did it for you guys. Not only that, if you play for Dan Mullen, if you're on Dan Mullen's football team and you hear him say that Florida played their last game 11 days ago in the SEC championship after you just worked your A-word off in a football game and got trounced. Just to hear that, you don't really count. That wasn't really Florida. You didn't play for the Gators today. From your own head coach, what does that say about the program? What does it say about the head coach? And what does that tell you? What message are you sending your players when you play in a game, you lose in a game, and then, we didn't really lose. That wasn't us out there today. That's pitiful. It's not an excuse that college football coaches should be making. The man's making millions of dollars to go to Florida, play with, only part of his team. We didn't really have to play today, get trounced, and then make excuses for it. Now, on the back end of that, almost worse, and I hope we have this video, Mike Leach at Mississippi State. The Leach experiment is not going well early. He is in the stands, in the middle of a pandemic, taking pictures with fans. Throw the pandemic thing out of this, period. But why is a Power 5 head coach in the stands taking pictures with fans? Number two, while his team is in a brawl on the field. I don't know if you guys saw this, Mississippi State and Tulsa in their bowl game over the weekend. Dan Mullen's in the stands taking pictures with fans while the Mississippi State players are curb stomping the Tulsa players following a win in which an SEC team, SEC West, we're the best division in football, barely sneaks by Tulsa. Mike Leach, as you can see right there, he's in the stands. He's taking pictures.
This video is perfect.
And his team, the best part, he's on the opposite side of the field.
Look at the way, it's like, okay, he said hi, and then the zoom here.
Mask down, opposite side of the field, his team's in a brawl with Tulsa from the American, where a Mississippi State player, there was a Tulsa player down on the ground, Mississippi State player just took 1, 2, 3 swings with a leg on him, stomped him. Then posted it on his Instagram story after the game to celebrate that he had stomped a Tulsa player defenseless on the ground in a post-game brawl while the head coach was in the stands. Who is letting this happen? Why do we feel like, I'm an SEC coach, I can say I can do whatever I want? That's not really how it works, especially in a year where the SEC didn't impress me that much. I don't know about you, but the Big 12, they should have been a bear. They're up there on my bear list for going 5-0 in the postseason.
I'll tell you something. Well, this fight is insane, but ESPN covered this way more than they ever cover anything. Usually when there's a fight, they like turn the cameras away if you watch ESPN. They talked about this for like 30 straight minutes on SportsCenter.
The SEC, it's ESPN's baby, so thank God they did. Thank God they did. They actually brought some light to something bad that's happening in the SEC. I'm not a very big Dan Mullen fan. And Mike Leach didn't help his cause either this week. That was number 4 on the Uptempo top 5 moments of the week. Now, number 1 came from what might be the very best Bear Games question we will have in the history of this show, and we wasted it week 1. I say wasted it. It was all worth it because of this right here. All game. And this one right here. There is a fraternity of coaches from football to baseball to softball to women's tennis. I mean, you're a Big 12 coach, so you're familiar with these guys. And it's a fraternity that has an elite group of people. And this right here plays into that, Coach. If you had $100 on the line, You've got to go to a restaurant and arm wrestle one Big 12 football coach. Which coach is it, and which restaurant are you taking him to?
I have to arm wrestle one Big 12 football coach and take him to a restaurant.
It's got to happen in a restaurant of your choice. You're the one that's picking the venue here, but it has to be an eatery. I told you, these are the toughest questions you will face this week.
Wow. I would probably have to go to Hellberg's.
Oh, I love that pick. Over at almost in China Spring.
I like
top.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, Hellberg, I would have to, just because I think they do a phenomenal job. And if you don't get there by 3, they're out of food, which is awesome. Oh my gosh.
Gary Patterson is in the running. You can say Gary Patterson.
I think that's just the easy one, but I think Coach Gundy would be like my guy that I would just like just the hair. Yeah. I just want to be able to see it flow when I kind of slam his arm down and the hair kind of does that, That's what I'm thinking.
That's it. That's 300 bonus points for Coach Steve Rodriguez. He's taking down Mike Gundy at Hellberg. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on Up Tempo today.
Oh, absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure to have you. That was Coach Steve Rodriguez of the Baylor baseball program. What an interview. We love having him.
I love that. I love the take on the mullet flowing as he slams
my
down
gosh,
the right
so
arm, Coach
visual.
He's a visual guy.
I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. That's Armstrong Sims. Up next, we'll give out our superlatives. A graphic moment on Up Tempo this week where we get the explanation of how Steve Rodriguez would take down Mike Gundy. That was the top 5 of This Week at Up Tempo. Felicia Mulkey, Anyone Can Yell, Chancey Stuckey being Dabo Sweeney, your Bears and Bus, and then Steve Rodriguez taking down Mike Gundy at Hellberg. How about this? Michael from Dallas, you're on with SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo. We got about a minute here. Michael, what's up?
Just first time calling into the Sam Hole fan club radio show. Just honored to be here.
That's exactly what this is. We almost changed the show's name at the last break, but Armstrong talked me out of it.
I came to play real quick. Let's do it.
All right, Bear Games, Michael. Bryce Petty or Sam Hall?
Got to go Bryce Petty, but honorable mention to Sam Hall. I wanted to say that, he was one of the main OGs in the Baylor secondary in the last decade, him and Mike Hicks. And if it wasn't for those guys, they set the precedent for Ahmad Dixon and, the rest of the guys that came to our program.
Yeah, Sam Hall was a staple for Baylor. How about Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
I got to go Spencer Drango, but again, Terrence Ganaway, he was the OGs in the backfield. Him and Jay Finley, they set the precedent for all the great running backs we've had in the last decade as well.
Bring it. Michael from Dallas. How about tomorrow? Baylor TCU in Fort Worth. What's the final score?
Give me Baylor 80, TCU 64.
Ooh, I like that. TCU under 65 points, Baylor hitting 80. I love it. That's probably my favorite prediction of the day so far. And that or 100-0 by Baylor Bigfoot. How about you're going to one restaurant in Waco, sending a new Baylor coach there. Where are you going?
Listen, T-Rex is probably right. George's is a little overrated, but you know what? You can sit down at George's. Yep. You give me a plate of Crazy Wings, a Big O. That's unrivaled in the city.
It's classic. We have George's as a clear winner, but we have division now amongst the fans of Up Tempo. Michael, thanks for your call. And, man, SicEm Bears, yeah?
SicEm Bears.
Thank you, Michael. Now, we got like 3 minutes left of this show today, and we're going to end it the best way we can end it. And that's with Sam Hall's dad, who's on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Sam Hall's dad, welcome on to Up Tempo.
Hello.
Come on.
Hey, guys.
What's going on? It's a big day for the family.
Listen to you and listening to my mom and listening to everybody. Wow, this is neat. I love listening. Y'all sounds like you have a good thing going on. I listen to Smokey every afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, they're good. They're good.
I've been listening to Smokey for years and years and years and years.
Yeah. Well, we're blessed to be at the same station with those guys. We've learned a lot from them. I'm excited to have a job at the same desk that David Smoak does because he's a legend. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, keep it up. Do I get to vote for my son?
You do. Sam Hall or Bryce Petty?
Oh, well, okay. Sam Hall, I guess.
Oh, well, I guess you can. I'll give you, you know what? I'll just unlimited points for Sam Hall. Today's just been a good day. I'm sure you have his number 2. What we're going to do is we're going to reach out to him. We're going to reach out to Holly. We're going to try to get them both on the show here pretty soon, if that's all right with you.
Okay, yeah. Do you want me to text you their phone numbers?
I tell you what I'll do. Sure thing. Impact Health Lab, or the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line, that same number, 254-339-1122. You send those over and we'll set that up for you.
Oh, okay. Not a problem.
And
I can do that. Yeah, Sam was talked to Smokey a while back,
Sure
like
enough.
his grandmother said. Yeah.
That's right. How about Spencer Drango or Terrence Ganaway?
Drango.
I love it. I love the Drango pick. Who wins? Baylor and TCU tomorrow. They're playing a basketball game in Fort Worth. What's your final score?
Baylor 90-75. How's that?
90-75. I like it. Good, clean scores today. And you got to go to one restaurant in Waco. Where are you going?
George's, of course.
Yeah, you are. I am on the George's train today. I went last night. I'm going to go again tonight just because everybody out there is either a hater or a big-time lover, and I'm glad you guys are on the George's train. Man, Sam Hall's dad, thanks so much for calling in. It's the Hall Show now.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, I will definitely listen some more. Thanks a lot, guys.
11 to 2 every single day on Up Tempo. Sam's dad, thanks for calling in. We hope to have those two on soon. 254-339-1122 is the text line. I got like 45 seconds left on the show. Celebrity birthdays really quick, Armstrong.
Uh-oh.
Happy birthday to my grandma. Yeah, don't mess this up.
I'm going to.
What's her birthday? What's her age? I'm sorry. Today's her birthday. My Mimi.
72.
I hate you.
What is she?
She's 64.
Really? You have a young grandmother.
You made up for it. Elvis Presley would have been how old today?
I did make up for it. I have. He would have been like 95.
85. Noah Cyrus.
Okay.
Cyrus. Oh, Stephen Hawking. How old would Stephen Hawking have been today?
Oh, hell, no idea. 75.
78. R. Kelly. Happy birthday to R. Kelly. How old R. Kelly?
45.
54. I didn't know he was that old. Kim Jong-un. It is his birthday today.
Oh, my gosh.
He's like the number 36 most famous birthday today. How old's Kim Jong-un?
He's in his 52.
37.
Really?
Hey.
He does not look good for 37.
Being the dictator of North Korea really weighs on you.
Yeah.
You age fast.
Yeah.
You age fast. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. What a week. Week number 1 of Up Tempo in the books. Happy Friday, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us this week. We've had a great time with you. We're going to do it all again next week, the week after that, and from here on out, Armstrong.
Yep.
Once again, I'm not Armstrong
You're
Sims.
not Armstrong
I'm
Sims.
Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. This is Up Tempo.
Ideal MRI is a small family business right here in Central Texas. We're open to support you while lowering the cost of healthcare bills. When you need an MRI, ask your doctor for an Ideal MRI. Visit us at idealmri.com or call us at 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Cam Heathcott, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Cam Heathcott, covering Conroe and Houston, 936-756-7717 or cam.heathcott@edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones Whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive at 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.